make us proud. CanesWear crew, you hear the crowd. Hurricanes ain't backing down. Every play, every score, raising bets and raising roar. Rocking orange, green galore. All for one and one for four. We got FTSN, taking names, win it again. Podcast fam, till the end. Tune in, now let's begin.
Hello and welcome to the CanesWear Podcast on the FTSN Network. We have a fantastic show today. It's been a very exciting week, as we know, not only at CanesWear, which is exciting, who brings you this presentation, the CanesWear Podcast. Remember to like and subscribe to FTSN. Bobby and the team do a fantastic job. You get Canes stuff, you get Dolphin stuff, lots of cool things there. And just an amazing day. The panel here today is feeling great. Everybody is feeling amazing. 27-24. A little scare at the end of the game. We all were saying, no, this can't be. But we won it. We never let them get ahead of us. Amazing crowd, orange out. I have never seen the local fans do what they did. They came out all orange. I mean, you could barely see any green. A lot of Notre Dame fans were wearing their navy blue, their gold. You didn't see any of that. It was awesome. The crowd was fantastic. And the 12th man means so much in the game. We need to do that for every game, not just Notre Dame. We need to do that for Bethune-Cookman. I know it's just Bethune-Cookman. We need to do it for USF because the fans can actually make a difference. We can do a lot more in the stadium than we can doing our tweets or things like that, or our posts on X, our Facebook posts. We think we're being constructive. We do absolutely nothing with those when we complain. But we're out there screaming and screaming and screaming. We can make a difference. Young Carr did not have a chance. I think the end of the game, we drowned them out in the last series. So phenomenal game, 27-24. I've got the magnificent Mando here today. How we doing, Mando?
What's going on, guys? Feeling good, baby.
All right, bachelor number 2, Mando. And we got bachelor number 3. We got Gio. These both guys are married, ladies, so just settle down. We got Gio, the expert. He's everywhere. Gio, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I just want to say that no longer is it about off-season narratives now. Now it's about truth and facts and what the eyes see on the field. I did not see a generational running back on the other side of the field. I did not see 2 shutdown corners on the other side of the field that were talked about all off-season. I did not see 8 deep on a defensive tackle rotation for Notre Dame. The narratives are over. It's all facts now, and I love this time of the year. It's like Christmas.
So you're trying to say Jeremiah Love's, 33 yards did he get in this game? Was it 33 or 30?
It was so generational.
33.
So that was not Barry Sanders? That was not Barry Sanders like?
I call him Mr. Hurdle, man.
Yeah. The amazing thing is that Carr had more carries, I think, than either running back. Is that correct? That was very surprising. I think their coach is phenomenal, but it seemed like every time, when Carr was running the ball, because it seemed like he had a launching pad every time. Every single time, it seemed like he leaped in the air. I'm like, it was one time late, the Cane drilled him. I don't know who it was, but I've never seen a guy jump that much. I mean, he's trying to jump over guys standing up straight up. Incredible. But that being said, I believe Notre Dame will run a lot better against other teams. It's just our defense was that good this game. And I think starting the D was phenomenal. And it was just the way they were swarming to the ball. On that interception, 3 guys basically touched it. One guy touched it about 7 times when the kick, he had everything going on there. And then Bain comes around the side. I mean, that's the swarming defense the Canes used to have in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. I mean, that swarming defense everywhere a Notre Dame guy was, we were. I mean, except for that broken play and the play that Carr, which was, by the way, I thought was much better than I thought he would be. I mean, that kid's not bad. People say, did our V-tones look good, or was it because they had a first-time quarterback? I mean, he didn't seem like a first-time quarterback to me. He missed some passes, but he looked like he had all the poise. He ran really well. But great first game. Great. I couldn't be more excited. I know you guys are as well.
It was awesome. If you ask me personally, I think Miami did blow the chance to blow them out.
Mm-hmm.
I look at a key play where Marty Brown ended up slipping with the turf monster.
Right.
That kind of stifled that drive. And then you had some miscommunication with the defense in terms of like passing on coverage responsibility from a linebacker to safety. And that tight end ended up catching the ball and whatnot. End of the day, Miami came out with the win. Was it pretty at the end? No, but I think it was pretty for about three and maybe a quarter of the fourth quarter. So I think it was a good performance. There's things to clean up. I think the offense could get even better. I will say though, shout out to Shamar Brown. Just overall though, 51 of his 54 yards rushing came after contact. All we heard all offseason was about Notre Dame's running backs.
Mm-hmm.
This kid came into this game transferring in from an FCS program in North Dakota State, which is a solid program who sent players to the NFL continuously. He averaged 3.4 yards after contact. That was a whole yard above any other running back in the game Sunday night. So this guy was churning it out and working for his yards to kill that clock down, and Miami came out with a W.
All right, we got a couple of first downs like that he plowed through. The touchdown, he just would not go down. I mean, he was driving them. I did see the home. I watched the ESPN highlights because they obviously had the CJ catch, which we'll talk about too. I'm sure several times tonight. And I saw that it was ranked number 1 for the day, number 1 for the week, and could be number 1 for the year for all we know. But they talked about when now, Samar Marty Brown. They're calling him Marty Brown, right? Marty Brown. I mean, I hear Marty, I'm thinking of a couple of friends I know, and I'm thinking of Marty from Back to the Future. Doc Brown saying, Marty. That's really heavy, Doc. Anyway, so he's driving and driving and driving the ball. What legs, what power. And I just wonder how much he would have carried the ball if Jordan Lyle didn't get hurt.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable to bring up because Lyle started the game. Ankle ended up getting rolled up on. Mario confirmed this week that he'll be fine. He'll be good to go. Just nothing major, just precautionary stuff. They held him out of the game. Mark Fletcher actually had the most explosive runs. If you talk about like 10-plus yard runs, I think when I was looking through the metrics, he had about like 2 or 3 of those. So he had a solid game himself. I just think overall, you look at it from the perspective of what Notre Dame was doing on defense. They were trying to crowd the box, especially late in that game. And you asked me personally, I think Miami got too conservative. I think you should have put the ball up in the air maybe 1 or 2 times, especially on a third down. I think you signed a quarterback, like back the investment you made, but then again, we could look at it from the perspective of last year and what we said from the Syracuse game that Miami should have ran the ball more, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Mando and I have written a new book for Mario. We're going to send it to him. The play action pass can be your friend because, I mean, we're handing the ball right up the gut every time. I mean, it's like, okay, where are we going to run the ball? Right up the – not one fake handoff. Not one bootleg, and Carson can run. Not one fake, and then they had the wide receiver in motion all the time. I mean, they could. Now, maybe they're saving that for a bigger game, because there's going to be a lot of bigger games than they'll do that against Bethune-Cookman probably. But, I mean, if there's any negative take, and you can't be negative on this game, but it's that we ran the ball into the line and into the line, into the line and into the line and into the line. I mean, play action pass. I mean, 2 years ago, we did it the first few games. We beat Texas A&M. We did it with Tyler. It looked amazing. We did great plays. Then we went conservative, like after the Georgia Tech game on. Last year, we didn't really do play action passes. This year, we start off. So people say it'll probably change. Is it Dawson or is it Mario overruling him on those runs up the middle all the time?
Well, I've kind of always said this with Dawson since he's been here. I like him as an offensive coordinator. I do think there's a bit more to be desired in terms of creativity with the play calling from, just the run scheme overall. But it's worked for them to this point. So
we won the game. It was scary. Mando, we've been talking. What are your thoughts on this game?
No, I will say this is one from the memory. That's a memorable one. I mean, I know Gio was there, Brett was there, a lot of people watching were there. Yeah, when I got the 24-24, I was telling Brett before the show that the guy that sits behind me the last couple of years, he's like, I'm not looking at the field. He turned his back. He's holding the rail. He's looking at my face. He's like, I'm going to watch your face. And, yeah, he's got a little – obviously, you had Daniel's catch. The defense was phenomenal. But we talked about on here with Gio that it was uncertain who the kicker was going to be. That Carter was going to have all the short kicks and that Auburn was going to have 50 and above. 47 yards with a game on the line, and that kid, like, split it. Like, that was serious. Like, that wasn't no chip shot.
I didn't know it was Carter until I saw the highlights later.
Nailed it.
I wasn't even paying attention to who it was. But you're right. A lot of pressure on that kid. A lot of pressure on him.
I'll give him credit on that. It probably could have cleared beyond 60. I knew the kid had a boot. I still have concerns with the kicking game, just warm-up stuff. I know people say, but it's just warm-ups. But
well, we saw what happened earlier in the game. The botch, it wasn't the kicker's fault, but the botch snap. I don't know what the hell happened there.
Yes, the botch snap. And then I still have concerns there. You asked me personally, I think you may see Miami go for it a bit more on fourth down this year, prior years.
Now, what was the deal at the end? And we'll get to the comments and questions. We got lots of them loaded up in a second. I saw that. I think it was Beat the Bookie had posted it. It was Mario thought we had a time. They were out of timeouts? Did he think that on the third? When did he think that? He's running around saying, "What's going on here?"
What happened there was earlier. It was the understanding that Notre Dame had taken a timeout, but then the referees. I forgot how this was explained to me.
Injury timeout? Is that what you replied?
Yeah,
I believe
injury timeout.
Yeah, right.
Ended up taking place of that, so they didn't end up using a timeout. Even though, it's just weird situation overall. At the end of the day, Miami came out with victory. So
that's all that matters. I mean, when he kicked that field goal, I said to Jeff, who was sitting next to me, who works with me. And I'm saying, I was standing next to me, we stand the whole game. I says, one of two things is going to happen on this when we ran the ball third down. If we decide to just run it into the line, now granted, we wanted the first down. I mean, that would have been so easy. Everybody's packing the inside. Beck goes to the outside and he's gone. Or flip it or something. Now, I understand they didn't want to pass the ball. But you could have done something a little bit. I mean, we won anyway. But at best case scenario there, 1:14 or so left. We're going to kick the field goal, and they're going to have the ball, and we haven't proved that we can stop them in the last couple of drives.
Yeah, that was and I think
even if we make it, which we did, we knew they're going to have the chance to go down and score. And then the negative is he misses this kick, and then they've got the ball, and the fans forget the players, forget the team, forget the coaches. The poor fans that are out there are like, we're snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. It's at 21-7, and the crowd is in our favor, and they're going wild. And he goes 3 and out. The car can't throw the ball straight, and our defense is perking up. And we get the ball. You think it's over. The game is going to be a blowout. My 48-17 is going to come to fruition.
Yeah, I think as you guys are talking about, I know the staff has heard for 4, 5, 6 months, oh, you should have ran more. Oh, you should have ran more. But I look at it this way. If you got a quarterback that's in his first or second year, and I was telling the guy next to me watching the game, or the guy sits behind me, this is a guy's played, 3, 4, 5 years? I'm not saying to chuck it 50 yards down the field, but at the very least, play action, a little dump off, something. It just seemed there was a lot of runs up the middle. And I get it. You're trying to run clock. You're up 7, you're up 10, you're up 14, whatever it was. But what do they say? It's a game of inches. If this kid stays up and gets that, if Brown gets that first down, maybe we're not even having this discussion. Then we win by 3 touchdowns. Yeah. So it happens. But hey,
it's like a sequence of events, like you mentioned, and I mentioned earlier, that you go back to the Shamar Brown third down play where he ended up slipping. Yeah. May be entirely different. The outcome. Miami was driving on that drive.
That defensive breakdown play where they had with a tight end. The tight end goes like free, wide open.
I love the way we ran them down. Who ran them down? Number 6?
Yes.
I just love the way nobody ever gave up on that defense. That defense was completely.
Well, and you also had the it was, where was it, the running back, the backup kid, actually, Jadarian Price. He ended up looking better than Love.
Yeah,
That's the irony of it. Love was talked about all offseason, and it was the other kid. But with that, I thought it was pretty funny, actually. The kid thought he was gone to the end zone. He did the Tyreek Hill peace sign and ended up getting tackled and sent out of bounds. That was pretty funny in itself.
No, our guys never gave up, and we know there were questionable calls against us. I know we're not.
Yes,
totally questionable calls. I'm sure.
I think you can make the argument. I think you can make the argument that there was either 3 or 4. I've watched the game like 3 times already. I'll watch it a 4th and probably a 5th before the next game comes. And I've dissected it over and over again. I think there was arguably 3 or 4 plays where Notre Dame defensive pass interference should have been called.
Totally. I mean, they were hammering our guys and they weren't called. And then when they finally did call the first penalty on the game, when they were down inside goal to go, then they immediately called 2 on us right in a row. The holding made no sense. And then the one that was really, they ripped the helmet off our guy and they called roughing on us.
On Dylan Day, yeah. The one that was really mind-boggling, you asked me personally, I don't think it was a defensive pass interference on Zachariah Poyser. That was a bit questionable.
That was a question. But their guy mugged our guy on the second to last drive. Mugged him. Now they called that one. They had to. I don't know. So I'm not going to say that.
I'll say this though. Malachi Toney, man, what?
Oh my goodness!
Jesus. Like, I know people will see 6 catches, 82 yards. You got to watch the tape and what this kid was doing to veteran players that are so-called All-Americans and all-conference level players. He was putting them in a blender. And about 3 or 4 of those defensive pass interference I mentioned, 2 of them were against him. That one would have been a touchdown if the guy wasn't holding him, basically. Christian Gray. Totally. Tremendous performance by him. 6 catches on 10 targets, 40 yards after the catch, which really sticks out. Had the most first downs of any skill position player in that game Sunday night. 5 first downs, so he moved the chains. So I think that's an incredible rate there, if you ask me. 5 of his 6 catches were first downs, and the other one was a touchdown. So he was moving the chains every time he got the ball, or he was getting in the end zone. That's efficiency. Just tremendous performance by him in his debut. I know we talked about it all off season. It's nice to see it translate to game day, because we always talk about the infamous Green Tree All-Americans. This is the best secondary Malachi Toney will face all year. Rest in peace to the competition for the next 11 regular season games.
Yeah, it's apparent why the staff wanted to keep him a secret, because he was
absolutely.
He put on a show on Sunday night.
I thought I didn't mind the running game, but I did mind the way we ran the ball right up the middle. But I thought we scored on that. We scored amazingly on that first drive of the second half. It was a daily double, Quinnell, exactly whatever you want to call it. You score at the end of the half. You score at the beginning of the half. We did that with short passes and runs. We went away from the short pass for the next 3 drives. We went to the long pass and runs only. The short passing game, that one play that they did, Malachi 100, it was amazing the way they did that. And they did that against Texas A&M last year, 2 years ago too, when they run 2 wide receivers into the same gap. I don't know why we went away from the short game. It's really dominating in the short game.
It seemed like Notre Dame may have been scheming to stop Lofton, maybe, Gio, you think? Because Lofton wasn't.
I think so. They were clogging up the middle of the field, actually.
Lofton, one catch was a disappointment. Boatman was it Boatman, the tight end?
Yeah, I think the tight ends, there's some things they could work. I'm not talking about from like a receiving end or just route running perspective. Notre Dame was clogging up those lanes, especially over the middle. This is why you saw a lot of things towards the outside, a little bit outside the hashes. And if anything was inside the hashes, it was very, very close to it, basically. Notre Dame did a good job of cleaning that up. On the tight ends, though, I think Bowman and Lofton, they may get their ears rang out during film study this week with the coaches. A few miscues on blocks and whatnot. One in particular, Alex Bowman had missed the edge rusher that was coming off the strong side, and unfortunately Lyle gets stopped in the backfield. He blocks him. Lyle may be gone for a 15, 20-plus yard run. Things to clean up there. Shout out to Samson Okunlola having a tremendous
amazing game.
Blocker on the entire team. I thought, if you ask me from what I saw on the field and then rewatching multiple times, I thought they were moving guys off the ball 2-3 yards when he was in the game. There was a lot of cohesiveness when he was in there at left guard. So I think he may continue to play more. I know they got a rotation there.
Quite phenomenal. I think he scored out as the number one offensive lineman, didn't he?
Yeah, Okunlola was the number one guy in pass protection. Overall, they graded Mahanoa as number one overall, but I was really impressed with Okunlola. Markel Bell had a little bit of struggles with Bubakar.
He's the reason I think the third down play, he fell. He got hurt. His legs twisted, and I don't know if that's what cost Brown to go ahead and not get the yards or what on that third down play. And thankfully he didn't get hurt because you see a big, timber, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some questions. Free smoke. It wasn't the first question, but it's in there now. Conservative Mario almost bit him. Yes, Mario is. We did win. That is all that counts really in the end. But Mario is going to have to work on that. We all know. We're always going to say Mario has to work on things, and he does. He has built this team to be a championship team. In his defense, but is he the guy to take us to the championship? We shall see. Juan Manuel, welcome to the show. Miami exterminated the leprechauns in Dade, like raid. That could have been a cool shirt. We exterminated in Dade like raid. I like it. Good job, Juan Manuel. Gio, our defensive tackles look much better on Sunday. Who is a DT other than Blay, Moten, or Scott that can contribute?
Well, I think you saw him on the field Sunday as well. Armando Blunt, he had a really good game himself. He's filling in as your first defensive end off the bench and your fourth defensive tackle. He's going to be a really, really key guy this year. So I think he had a really good game. He plays with violent hands, very similar to the way Ruben Bain plays. I don't think Blunt has hit anywhere near his ceiling. He was a reclassified kid too. He's technically supposed to be a true freshman right now, not a sophomore. So really impressive stuff from him. He's going to help out. But I think after that, I think someone you should look forward to seeing playing this weekend is Dante Simpson. They were really excited about him in the spring. He didn't play on Sunday, but he'll play at certain points this year, and he's someone to look forward to for the upcoming years.
Dante Simpson. Is that who it is?
Yeah, Dante Simpson.
We'll
with
keep our eyes open.
Though, I won't say the PFF grades or Pro Football Focus grades are the end-all be-all. I think it's a nice metric to look at, and then you see like catches allowed and yardage and what guys did in coverage and missed tackles. You see things that don't come up in the box score. But I will say, though, David Blay, as a pure nose tackle type, I haven't seen Miami with a guy like that up front as a nose tackle since Kendrick Norton. If anyone remembers Kendrick Norton when he played on 2016 and 2017 teams, really, really talented guy. I think David Blay was an eye opener. Justin Scott had his flash plays and Mon Moten too, but David Blay really stood out.
Was it Kendrick Norton that has the GIF or GIF, whatever you call it, with him like doing the thing? Wasn't that him against Florida State? Yeah, so he's best known for that. But yes, all right. Fourth and forever with Colorado Cane. Welcome to the program. Fellas, let's go Canes. Let's go Canes. Absolutely. Robert Nora, good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to the show. How long before Malachi jersey? Excellent question. We anticipate having Malachi jerseys and shirts in. I don't think it'll be before Bethune-Cookman because we wanted to see how everybody was going to play on the field before we did that investment. But before University of South Florida, we should have all of that in.
You mentioned, Brett, real quick, you mentioned Robert Nora and Colorado Cane. I know they were there. I know Colorado Cane flew in from Colorado with his wife, was with me and my wife at the tailgate. There was fans there from everywhere. And Mario said he wanted before the game maniacal crowd. Let me tell you, bro, that shit was crazy.
Maniacal.
I've been to hundreds of football games. That shit was nuts. From the opening kickoff, we survived that storm outside. It was legit a storm out there. It was cold too, but from the opening kickoff to the end, that crowd was crazy. It really, really was. They made a difference. Absolutely made a difference.
The 12th man, exactly.
Yeah.
We need to have that. People go to every game. They come and they get like something at Canes.
By the way, there's word going around that there's only like 1,000 something.
I read that today. Yeah, that's wild to me.
A Bethune-Cookman game. Yeah. Bethune-Cook. If Miami could sell out a Bethune-Cookman,
it's over if that's the case.
They're going to sell them out, but the only thing is how many people are actually going to go. A lot of people are from other places. They're not coming down. When you have 4 weeks in a row, it's like you're not coming to all the games.
I will say I did have some people hit me up today. They're like, usually don't go to games, and they're like, "Yo, you got tickets, you got stuff like that." So that opened up when you beat a Notre Dame.
Yeah,
exactly. we all hate Notre Dame. But Notre Dame's a national power name for in college football. You do that on the big stage like that, it opened up. Like today, I was hearing, I know McAfee and I forgot who was on the radio, Joel Klatt today. This is a team on both sides of the lines. I was even reading online a reply on X, an Ohio State fan. He was going after Josh Pate because he had it Miami 11th in some weird rating system he's got going on. The guy was like, I hate Miami. I'm an Ohio State fan, but they're built. That's a fucking football team on the offensive line and the defensive line. Everybody's impressed with the way Miami looked on Sunday. Let's hope they can keep it up.
Great point. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't because we had faster wideout. I mean, it all starts with the trenches. It all starts with the way the offensive line, the defense line. That's what determines any. I mean, you can have great flyers on the outside. You can beat Bethune-Cookman by 70 by having guys like that. But when you control the line of scrimmage, that's the key. And the defense was just swarming. And
you mentioned that final drive.
Wonder. I think this is going to be the way it goes with Heatherman.
You mentioned that final drive. I mean, Bain and Messidor. Weeks ago, Mario said, quote unquote, they're playing the best ball of their career, and they're in the best shape that they've been in University of Miami. And they both looked insane.
Do you see how trimmed up Bain
Messidor? Messidor looks like a different person. Like Messidor is like ripped. Like he was a lot stockier last season. Not that he looked bad.
Messidor looks like, you remember Mario's first season here?
Mm-hmm.
Messidor looks like that now. Like, because he came in with Mario that transitional year, the first season, had a great year, then had the foot injury, came back for the start of the next season, re-aggravated out the entire year. Last year was playing a bit out of position, out of necessity. He had to play some defensive tackle. Now he's back at edge. Phenomenal shape now. He was the top graded pass rusher for the entire Power 4 in week 1. That's a great debut
That is amazing.
This is his last year, so.
And neither one of them, if you look at them, they don't look like defensive linemen.
Well,
they look like outside linebackers.
Well, Bain, I know Steve Kim was out there at the game. I was talking to him. He said it, Bain, this is a contract year. And there was a guy from PFF a couple of days ago online said that type performance against a Notre Dame on that stage, that's a top 10 pick draft.
That's exactly.
That's exactly what Bain
You want to know something crazy? Someone released this is all for fun, but someone had released, I think it was
a mock draft. I saw he was number 1. I saw one today.
They cover the NFL draft year round, like these players.
Mm-hmm.
They released a mock draft with Bain going number 1.
I saw that.
No, listen, that interception, it looked like a defensive back. That could be a Sean Taylor type or a Benny Blades, that size type of guy going. Didn't seem like a defensive end flying down the sideline like that.
Yeah, they had him number 1, Nussmeier 2, and Aller 4. I saw that. I saw it a little while ago.
So, all right, let's see. Darryl, welcome to the show. We looked all world against Florida last year defensively. Exactly. I've always thought that. And then we fell off. I'm not trolling, just trying to know, what do you all see? That's a clear difference.
Well, I will say, I said it a few weeks ago, or a month ago, whatever it was. I still have that stat in my head. The guy was a DC in Minnesota. right? 94th in the country. The year before he's there, 94th in the country yards per play allowed. The first year he's there, the 12th. 80 position jump. He's got better athletes here than in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I'm not breaking news there.
He was either top 5 or top 10 in multiple categories with his defense at Minnesota too. And you're
Big Ten.
Mando, you're right in the Big Ten, and you're right on the money too. That he did not have the athletes at Minnesota that he has at Miami. Yeah, he had Koi Parish, the safety, who's all world. Would love for him to play in a Miami jersey, but overall, he does not have the talent at Minnesota that he has at Miami.
Yeah. So that's a difference to me. I mean, that's a massive hire.
People were texting me just watching him on the sidelines while I'm at the game. They're saying he is so animated, so excited, and that defense played. They were playing like the Canes of the '80s. Okay, I know a lot of people remember only the Canes of the 21st century, 2000. 2001, 2002, but those Canes in the 80s, the mid 80s, those defenses, between the Bermuda Triangle and the
Jets,
Benning and the Jets, exactly. These guys were flying to the ball.
I'll say to his point, as we know, even in the NFL, week to week it's tough. Like I know they got Bethune now, USF, but then you got Florida the 20th. Then you get a week off, and you got at FSU. We thought FSU, looking at the schedule before the season, was check mark. A bye week, but no, FSU's now they're at 230 yards in Alabama. Even though Alabama
was amazing.
What they were.
And everybody's saying that look for real. I don't know. Bama may not be as good as people think.
I saw a lot of that game. They, if you didn't watch the game, they bullied. And Alabama's not even close to what they were. But FSU, though, I hate to say it, but I'm not going to bullshit you. FSU looked good. They look really good.
If we win the state title this year, it means
I'll tell you this on Miami's defense. The reason why I don't get as concerned, or that Miami looked all world on defense the first game last year, and I'll put it this way: a few things. Notre Dame, majority of that team that was in the national championship last year returned.
Correct.
Higher offensive line, the running backs returned. They had all the receivers back and actually added a couple of guys even better than the guys they had last year. It was the core nucleus of that team, just a different quarterback. But
different quarterback may have been upgraded too. You saw we saw their Malachi Fields make a great catch.
That right there. And
he did.
That's a great question. That's a great point. And I thought that too, Joe. This team, that's why everybody thought. The spread went from 3 to 2.5 to 2. Then it went back to 2.5, 3.5. Miami went from 20-1 to win it all to 40-1 before the game. To win it all. It was like everybody was discounting Miami or thinking there's Notre Dame is. Heck, and Notre Dame right now is still 14-1 to win it all. Miami's 25-1 to win it all.
Actually, no, I just looked. Miami's now 12-1.
Oh, they really? I just went to Hard Rock.
They went from 40 to plus 12 on a different site. I don't know about Hard Rock, but
I just went. Yeah, I went to actual Hard Rock because you only have a limit of a few $100s, and I did just bet a couple of $100 more. I wanted to bet $200 a week, $200 every couple of days to get up to 100 and start, selling those tickets when we're.
Yeah, I don't know for the life of me why I keep thinking this matchup, but I just keep thinking Miami Penn State. I don't know why. It just. That's what I've been.
I'll take it. 38 years later from when we played them and got the Vinny Interception Bowl. If you're watching Vinny, nothing personal.
It's wide open. This isn't anymore just it's Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State. No, now it's LSU goes into Clemson and wins. Nobody had that.
It's the NIL era. There's so much parity now.
Look,
I think it's even more difficult for teams to run the table in a regular season. I did say before this season started, I would be disappointed if Miami didn't win 10 or more in the regular season. I think they have the roster and just well-balanced team overall. I've said all offseason, well-balanced. Most balanced roster, in my opinion, since 2005. I don't want to say 2003 because there was quite a few first-rounders even off of that roster. Just Brock Berlin was up and down that year, but that team was super, super talented. So I say best roster since 2005. There's a lot of NFL guys on that roster too. The last thing I'll say though about like the question of the defense though, biggest thing that stuck out to me, the tackling was better.
Totally.
That good against Florida.
Nobody's bouncing off us, even though we did tackle very well against Florida. I remember saying last year, wow, we tackled so well against them. But you're right. But I just thought we were sticking even more. We were faster. But we'll see. The good thing, the point is, Darryl, good point. The good news is we've got 11 more games to find out what's going to be happening. And because even against South Florida last year, our defense was okay, and then it started falling apart.
And some guys deserve their flowers too. Popo Aguirre.
Oh, I heard his name. Every time I heard his name, I said, gee, exactly.
Top graded tackler week 1. He made 5 solo tackles himself. That's impressive. And zero missed. That
Popo, our linebackers, I think people thought that would be the problem. Motori with the big hit on the quarterback, and he was a beast. I mean, the linebackers played very well. And every time I heard Popo again, well, you guys know.
You can't say it like Millie. You can't say it like Millie. You really can't.
Juan Manuel, Brett. Christian Wilkins says both Mando and Gio are married, but their forehead looks so cute with their caps worn backwards.
Am I gonna have to turn it around for the
looks
guy?
so gangster. Marcus Freeman, that's how I like the hairline. All right. Juan Manuel, as we know, brings great questions, great information, but he also is the jokester of the group. It's like the CanesWear Podcast with Juan Manuel, which we appreciate.
Love that guy.
Raf, welcome to the show. Healthy Bain and Messidor plus better DTs along with 4 to 5 solid cornerbacks. And that's
Miami has 4 guys on the outside at corner that can all legitimately play. And the snaps were very evenly distributed between those guys. Major shout out to Damari Brown, who was best of them on Sunday. He looked like
a hitter too. Yes, he's phenomenal. Phenomenal there. All about you. Welcome to the show. Repost to the stream. Guys, feel free to repost the stream and tell all your friends about the underrated podcast at the CanesWear Podcast. Derek Lawrence, welcome to the show. Gio, any chance Hayes now flips flip tweet just now could be Miami? Any chance Hayes?
Not that was mentioned to me, no.
All right. Raf plus more experience at linebacker. Exactly. Our linebackers is definitely B Rabbit. We got the first Mando and Gio fan. Mando, Gio.
B Rabbit.
No, nobody has mentioned Mondo's arms yet. Okay.
Well, you just did. You just did.
But somebody did come in the store. Robert came in the store and the show. He said, "Brett, he mentioned to me my arms," and I said, "Listen, this is the Mando show. That's why he's in the middle, okay? Because we need me and Gio can both be anchored by one of those big arms."
I just can't get a beard like Gio. I just can't do it. I don't know.
Gio does have that. He does that. It's Cat's Heat. Welcome to the show. Let's go, team. Let's see. Let's go. What's up, Brandon? Juan Manuel, I have a concern about Mario's stubbornness. He does everything the hard way. I do agree with that. Mario is very stubborn. A customer came and said, I went to school with Mario. He'd wear these loafers. I may have said it last week. He did not seem like he'd be the guy he is today. But Mario can be stubborn, like a lot of guys. Al Golden was stubborn. Mark Rick was stubborn. I mean, guys are stubborn, but Mario has adapted. He when he doesn't realize he needs a new coach, he didn't realize he needed to make the change at coach. He did that. He realized other positions he needed to make the change. But on the field is, I think, where everybody has the concern. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'll put it like this, though. I think Mario is also a coach that's willing to adapt. I look at what he's doing schematically on offense now, like with having Dawson here. A little bit different than what he's done throughout his career. So I think he's willing to adapt. The other thing I'll mention, like you said, Brett, every time there's been some level of deficiency with the team, Mario addresses it going into the very next season. So defensive backs were the bane of Miami fans' every existence last season. It was awful. It's a very bad secondary. Mario goes in to rehaul the entire room.
Mhm.
And you saw that game one. It showed up on the tape. Especially Keontae Scott. That guy was phenomenal. Really good. But the other thing too, so you have that, and you mentioned the coaching thing as well. It didn't work out with Gaddis. He went and got Dawson. It didn't work out with Guidry. He went and got Heatherman. You used to see this with prior head coaches at Miami, that they'd wait multiple years to make that decision. That hasn't been the case with Mario. Like he's had issues with other assistant coaches in the past. He gets rid of them before the very next season. I know people complain that, he has this long, drawn-out process. That's the way Mario does things. But I have to give him credit that when he has made the changes, for the most part, it's improved afterwards.
Absolutely, yeah. Now we've got D'Onofrio. He's answering a question. Al Golden kept me because I can't even read that. All right. That was one guy who kept a little too long. Let's see. Derek, Dawson needs more creativity. I think Cam Ward made him seem elite more than he is a play caller. Excellent point. I thought that was some of the case there. I do think we need a little more creativity, even though I did like the passing game creativity. I like the short passes. I love the play that he threw the touchdown. That was all Malachi and Beck. That pass, when you watch it, when he launched that ball, Malachi was all the way on the other side, and he launched that, and Malachi came across. That play does not stand out because of the great catch by C.J. Daniels, but that touchdown was phenomenal.
I think especially the Malachi touchdown, what really stands out with that is two things: the anticipation from Beck, and also to be able to trust his receiver to make that play, to trust the 17-year-old kid to make that play and how he adjusted to the ball. Phenomenal play from both guys. I know everyone will talk about how Tony adjusted to the ball, but I see mostly like the pressure that was on Beck, because there's a defensive lineman crashing down on him, was able to make that pass with anticipation, and just overall great play. And the CJ Daniels thing, some analysts say, this could have been a pick. Well, you know what? It wasn't a pick. He placed the ball in a spot that only CJ Daniels could get. CJ Daniels beat one of the top corners in the country, and Leonard Moore from Notre Dame. Everyone's been talking about him all offseason. CJ Daniels beat him on a double move and catching that ball one-handed. And by the way, this is not a surprise for Carson Beck. Carson Beck trusts CJ Daniels to do that because that's happened in practice here at Miami since CJ Daniels arrived. That was talked about this week with the media. So, again, I think Carson Beck had a really good performance. Do I think there's room for improvement? Yes. I think he was pretty good in the short and intermediate. I think here's my differences between Carson and Cam. Cam was a little bit more of an improviser. Carson plays more on schedule and in rhythm with the offense. Yeah. The other thing as well, takes the check down more. He's more willing to do that. Goes through his reads very quickly. And again, I think he's a bit better than Cam straight line. Cam, more agile. However, I think Carson can unlock something that this offense did not have last year, and that is the deep passing game. I think that was one component that was missing to Miami's offense last season, and I think you could see that this year.
I thought we had a decent deep game last year, but I do see that back. Definitely, he's back there is a little different. He's not that Cam was looking to run, but Cam held that ball. Obviously, if we get anywhere near the production of Cam, it's going to be phenomenal. But I just thought Beck, he's got a great touch on the ball.
Any question? Yeah. Sorry, Brad. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go. No, that any question marks about his elbow or anything like that. He was humming it. I think you think the viewer mentioned about conservative. I think a big factor of that, it's also, remember, JoJo hardly played. He was in and out of camp or whatnot. And you also got to take into consideration the opponent. I mean, they were in the national championship last year. Like Gio mentioned, they returned almost everybody. It wasn't there. I don't think they were going to just air it out. You saw Lofton was a non-factor. They took him out of the game. So maybe you'll obviously they got Bethune this week, but as the season progresses, you'll see their offense open up. But I mentioned it for weeks on here. We're not going to be in 45 to 42 games with our defense.
No, 100%
So
correct.
you're not. So
Okay.
what Beck did, 20 of 30, 205, 2 touchdowns. Is that going to happen every week? Probably not. Or yes, no. But you're not going to see rarely 31 of 45, 4 of 42 because our defense is going to be good. We don't need that. You know?
Could Notre Dame have the best defense in the country? I mean, they're right up there. Could this be the best defense we're going to play all year?
I think you can make the argument between theirs or at least on Miami's schedule. I think you can make the argument between theirs and Florida. Florida State will have to see. There's one game through.
Yeah.
Florida's got a pretty good defense returning back this season. I think that'll be another test for Miami's offense. I think Notre Dame's group is better. That's my opinion. And I think the proof is in the pudding from last season too. But yeah, I'd put it at that.
And you can flip things just like that because I don't know if you guys watched it. It wasn't the safety from LSU was rumored to be here. Kid from Houston, I think it was. I don't know if you guys watched that game. LSU and
AJ Halsey
locked. There you go. LSU locked them down. Their secondary is serious, and their defense was kind of crappy last year. But their defense put on a show.
They look legit on defense.
No, they're good. Like
the guy that really
the game, they're really good.
The guy that really flashed in the game. I watched college football games for like 7.5, 8 hours straight at Duffy's Tavern. In
great spot, nice.
And right down there, I was there with Steve Kim, and we had alumni. Claude
he
Jones.
posted a photo. He posted a photo.
Yeah,
of it, yeah.
Claude Jones was out there with us too. Played on the national championship teams of Mario Cristobal as the right guard. We watched those games and just marathon of college football. And in that LSU Clemson game, I think two guys in particular really stood out. Whit Weeks, the linebacker, that's an NFL guy. He's 100% NFL. Aaron Anderson is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
That's too.
No, good point. Ralph commenting, which I thought people would possibly. Yes, there's the two sides. We won the game, which is phenomenal. That was all we needed to do. Miami just played vanilla and bullied Notre Dame, and still fans complaining. Unreal, it's only game one. Definitely a good point. We did win. If you're looking at it, I mean, me personally, I expected to blow Notre Dame out. I mean, we won. I'm happy as can be. Didn't matter by 1 point or 3 points. We had a chance, but that's fine. Doesn't matter at the end as long as you get the victory. Because we've seen games. But I think that when I'm thinking about it, it's how we're going to play teams, other teams. Like, are we going to just run the ball up the middle? I mean, it came down to the last minute of the game, which is fine. We were the underdogs, and we relied on a new kicker for us that was 50% in his career, correct, Gio? And so it's not that. It's that we dominated this game. We were dominating this game early. We outpassed.
That would have been a painful loss. That would have been a painful loss.
So we let them back in the game. Now, granted, it's a 60-minute game. Both teams are playing, but I just want to see more creativity in the run game. That's all I want to see. I'm not saying he's conservative. I just want to see. I saw it last year, the year before. Want to see play action passes. Want to see end arounds, want to see jet sweeps. Way back when John McKay coached over at USC, they called student body right, student body left. They just take everybody. Our offense line is so good that we can do whatever we want, I think, to impose our will. If we want to sweep right, sweep left, we don't just have to go between the guys. This should be fun for those guys. So that's my point. I think this team could be dominating.
I think the kid Brown he can also catch the ball to the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
He had that one first down he picked up on the swing.
Yes.
The great read from Beck as well. If you go and rewatch that play.
Correct. I think both Fletcher can catch as well. So I think, I think we have so many options that we barely showed them. But if people say, well, are we holding back? I don't think you're holding back against Notre Dame.
No, what I'm saying, but for the first time seeing Brown in a game,
oh, great.
He's going to be a factor, man. This kid he's good. He's really good.
Do they have
enough by the way,
to pass this one around?
Two points I do want to bring up that I noticed throughout the game. Well, maybe three, but I'll make them quick. One, this week, I think you're going to start to see some guys like JoJo Trader, Joshua Moore, Bryce Fitzgerald, Hayden Lowe, those guys in particular, maybe even some Kellen Wiley as well. start to get a little more acclimated. I know JoJo was on a snap count on Sunday. They were monitoring him, still getting back from the ankle injury during camp and whatnot. He'll be fine as things progress along. The second point I'll make in terms of the receivers, I know we always bring up CJ Daniels and especially Malachi Toney, but Keelan Marion, I know he got all the praise as kick returner coming in.
Mm-hmm.
He had some key catches during that game that moved
Mm-hmm.
chains. I felt like he has strong hands too. Like there was no struggling with the ball. That came in smooth. He got it down, moved the chains, and even on that one kick return opportunity he had, I think it was a thing of beauty to finally see a Miami return man actually make cuts. Because most guys in recent years, they just run straight and sometimes end up in the back.
That was a beautiful return. The one he made right up the middle. I mean, he only got 5 more yards, but it was great. I mean, he could have broke that.
I do think, though, if he doesn't cut back at the end of that run, he may have been gone if you watch the replay. But it's those things are such like split-second decisions. And last thing, the trust that they have in Malachi Toney. We talked about the game he had as a receiver. He was in on punt returns, and late in the game, he came in on kick returns. The trust factor that they have in this kid is absurd for the age that he is and how much experience he has coming in to his first season. I told Amon the other day, are you prepared that this kid may possibly break through?
He's a fan favorite. You know, Restrepo was probably the fan favorite receiver in the slot. I think he's picked up right where Restrepo left off. Rich Millennial, what areas of improvement do you think? I think we've gone over that. I think we talked about the running game being a little bit more open.
Running game and passing over coverages as well. They kind of got mixed up with that near the end of the game.
Now, Gio, do you think it was more like what Brett's talking about, creativity, or was it just Notre Dame is that stout? Because we only ran for like 3.5 yards a carry all game.
I think Notre Dame's pretty stout. I got hats off to their guys on the edge. Actually, I thought their defensive ends played a really good game, to be honest.
No, they did. I thought they played a fantastic game, and then we didn't tire them out like I thought was like we would in that high humidity. It was they played out.
We talked about Freeman.
They will probably be a team that'll be there at the end.
Oh yeah,
I think so. I could see them winning. I could see them winning at least minimum 10 of their next 11. I would not be surprised by that.
Yes, I agree. Raf, you know what all that running did? Ran the clock and forced their timeouts. No doubt about it. I don't think anybody was against us running the ball so much. It was just not shaking it up with just different run instead of that one format. Obviously, we all talked about we wanted them to run. We said ad nauseum on this show. Last year they should have ran more. They ran more against Syracuse. Martinez ran over everybody. Still can't believe he's cut from the practice squad. I think I don't know what happened there.
They signed him back.
They signed him back.
Oh, after cutting him?
Yeah.
So they cut him, put him on the practice squad, cut him for the practice squad,
and then signed him back again today.
Hope he gets a signing bonus each time. We're all for the running game. Just a little bit more diversification. Rich Leonard, what areas of improvement do you think we need to make before we face Florida teams? I think we're good. I don't think there's too much to improve except for a little diversification and getting the game one jitters out. Game one jitters is always tough. Look at Ohio State and Texas. Both those teams are going to be playing much better. They played that way its first game of the season. It'll be interesting to see how well Arch Manning does. But I think
I need to see.
Played a good defense, though. I think in Ohio. I think Ohio State defense is stacked.
Yeah,
I think adjustments that I'd like to see going forward. Obviously, a little more diversification of the run game. I do think the deep shots are going to get better. That's something that's a really key component to Beck's game that I think you're going to see these next couple weeks here. You watch his tape throughout his career. That's one of the biggest things that stands out. And I'd say love the way the defensive line played. I thought the linebackers played good as well. Popo Aguirre, again, just such a tremendous game he had. And defensive backs were pretty good. It's just I hate to pick on one player in particular,
But
Jacoby Thomas was knocking guys out in the run game. He's an enforcer. There was miscommunication in terms of passing over coverage responsibilities in that game that led to 2 big breakdowns in that fourth quarter. I know from the feedback I've gotten, and you could see this on the field on these 3rd down and long packages where Bryce Fitzgerald's subbing into the game for Jacoby Thomas. I think Jacoby Thomas, great enforcer guy. I've mentioned throughout the offseason, I had concerns about coverage. It's just game 1. Things can change. But I think it's telling early on that they already have Fitzgerald coming in there on 3rd down. I want to see if Bryce Fitzgerald can handle being fast-tracked these next few weeks after this big game. Now you got a little bit easier opponents. You could ease them up into a bigger role. That is one of my concerns with the defense. There was blown assignments there that could have prevented that game from even getting close.
All right. Raf agrees. Notre Dame possibly the best defense Miami face all season. The Duck is here, everybody. Welcome, Duck.
Better Duck.
Yes,
Duck.
let the show begin. King, welcome to the show. End of the day, it was a great win. Absolutely. We are all ecstatic. A win is a win is a win. I don't care how you do it, just win. And that is the key, especially a quality opponent. Especially that was our first top 10 team we beat in what, about 100 years?
Not 9 years.
9 years. Wow.
9 years? Yeah.
Yes. And they're 0-7 on the road against top teams. And they haven't beat us in 7 tries, I think, correct? At home.
0-7, yeah.
And even that either an amazing stat, and we played some decent teams, Texas A&M, others, 18 in a row for the Hurricanes at Hard Rock, an opening game.
I will say that she was happy when I cashed out yesterday.
Was she? All right. All right.
Miami money line, baby.
Miami money line. That was a great one. Exactly.
Yes.
Let's see. And the total was 51.5 was the number, and it came in at 51.
Oh, one of my friends was having a heart attack when he got the 24-24.
Those bookies. Let's see. They know their stuff, Las Vegas, and in this particular case, Hard Rock. Let's see. End of the day, great win. Yes, it was. Manageable is here. Cheap viewers on stream. Oh, forget that. Doug White posted. You'll say Brett will read anything. Doug.
I got a great number for you guys.
Spam has entered the chat.
Exactly.
I got a great number for you guys because I was just curious thinking about it because we were talking about the trenches. Notre Dame had the worst pass blocking grade in the entire country for week 1.
Really?
Crazy.
All Power 4 teams. It shows you how dominant the performance was from Miami up front.
Wow.
And all those guys
attacking him. They're
supposed to be studs, right, Gio?
Yeah.
But that last drive reminded me of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They seem to be in the NFL going after players. I hate the whole prevent defense. And we just completely, there's nothing worse than the prevent defense. I think Hank Goldberg or someone used to say, it's like the prevent defense, what does it do? It prevents you from winning. So that's it. We just went after him. That is the most exciting thing. It even made the Alabama Barstool account. Did you see that? I think I reposted it. It's like it says, we wish we had a defensive line like Miami's. When is the last time
all they needed was a field goal?
Ever said that?
I know, that's crazy.
So that was awesome, and that's a great thing. And Mario's only going to build on that, all right? Because we're going to get better and better players. So we just got to win. Dub White reposted the stream. Thank you very much, Dub. But B Rabbit says yes, they ran a ton of the inside trap. What's up, fellas? Adrian, Juan Manuel. Let's see, Adrian. What's up, fellas? Welcome to the show. Juan Malachi is a serious problem for teams because teams are placing the nickel back and don't match up. Leonard Moore, Notre Dame had to be put on Tony. That means the other 2 starting wide receivers versus 2 and 3 cornerbacks.
Yeah, he's right on that. Actually, they changed the matchup midway through the game because Malachi Tony was giving them issues, and he was still producing. By the way, I looked at the grades and the metrics for Notre Dame's 2-star cornerbacks, the Leonard Moore and Christian Gray. They had some of the worst games of their entire careers. Yes.
No, they were bad because we were good.
Definitely a problem.
They were bad because we were good, though. It's our coverage, our guys. So, I mean, I hope we got beginning of the third quarter. We are in the in our second team. I hope we got Emery out there. We see everybody in this game.
I think you're going to see plenty of guys this weekend.
That's good. Let's see. Juan Manuel Lofton missed a block. Don't know which one he's talking about, but Gio is confirming that.
Tight ends have to improve with the blocking. That did stand out in the game.
Aaron Frazier, yes, Florida, the UF and FSU will have good defense and speed. They are Florida kids. Same with USF here in Tampa. I agree. It was the first time I think all 4 Florida teams won the Big Four. Well, there's others, but USF, Florida State, and Miami, and it was a number of years that we all won the same week, which was amazing.
Yeah, well, with the rankings too. I think they said
first time,
like
2006 or something like that.
Miami, Florida State, first time they're in the top 15.
Really, in 20 years? Wow.
Something
no,
like
it's. I mean, I was watching, the program at ESPN at the end. They were saying, obviously, Miami and Florida State are good, and Florida too. College is a lot more exciting.
I agree.
So there's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Miami and Florida State dominated in the 80s.
Brett, I look at it like this. I look at it like as a changing of the guard. Look what happened with Alabama. You see NIL changing things so much with the landscape in college football. Things are more wide open now. I used to say this and joke about this before NIL was a thing, that I said, man, if Miami was allowed to pay players, I think it would be very competitive in that type of arena. And sure enough, here we are.
No doubt. You called it early, Gio. But, Miami and Florida State for about 10 years, the 80s, early 90s, finished in the top 3 every single year, both of them. And, I mean, and the only reason Florida State didn't win their own 5 championships was because of Miami. Because we were the team that kept beating them. Let's see. New King God, welcome to the show. Please tell me we're going to see Jones and Simpson at DT this Saturday.
Jones is healthy now. He was dressed out for the Notre Dame game. I'm pretty sure you'll see both of them at some point this weekend.
All right. New King also says Markel Bell seems to have trouble with speedy pass rushers. Do you see that, Gio?
Yes, that's also why they tend to line up Marquise Lightfoot against them in practice a lot. By the way, shout out to Marquise Lightfoot on that play where he kept Carr to the sideline, and what could have been a much bigger play on a rollout entirely changed. And credit to Bain on that play, flushing Carr out of the pocket, and Lightfoot just being able to contain that. That was really impressive.
One of the best sport names, Lightfoot. I think that's just a great name. Jake, welcome to the show. Woo woo! On the way back to Florida from the PNW, and had to drop in and listen to the fam just fueled up across the state. Welcome to the show, Jake. Hopefully we can
nice, Jake.
You enjoy the ride with us for a little bit. New King, we definitely need more diversity in the run game and won't be able to line up and just run over everyone. I mean, I think this will be the toughest team actually to run over, but to compete with the great teams, if we get to the playoffs, we need to be able to have some diversification in our offense. And I think, not that I'm a coach outside of Rec League and PAL, in the past, I do think we need more play action pass and more sweeps and things like that.
Oh, we know after week 1, Lofton's going to get a pepper with targets early this coming Saturday. That's happening.
Correct, yes. Yeah. I'd like to see both of those guys catch the ball. I'm going to see JoJo get some balls. That'll be exciting. Raf, USF has no D and not enough muscle. UF does not have the discipline of Notre Dame. I
could agree with that. Yeah.
Great points. Juan Manuel, does Hayden Lowe dress out?
Yes, Hayden Lowe was dressed out for the game. He did not play. I know some people also asked about Cam Pruitt. He did come in for one play, but then Notre Dame called a timeout, so he never actually technically played a snap on defense, but he did play special teams throughout the night. And my God, he's a beast even on special teams. He's going to play a bit this year, though, in nickel and dime packages. They love him as a coverage guy at linebacker. But and the question of guys that were out, like not dressed, Jadis Richard, Bobby Washington Jr., Ryan Mack. I feel like I may be forgetting someone here. Cole McConaughey. Those were guys that I noticed. I know Charles Brantley's coming back from on the mend with something late in camp, so he'll be back pretty soon as well. So, yeah.
All right. New King, what's the problem with A. Jones? Is he hurt? Can't tell me. He can't hide us 10 snaps. He can't get us 10 snaps.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier he was stressed out. He got nicked up in camp. He's good to go right now, so I'm sure we'll see him this week.
You better love somebody. Welcome to the show. Canes no fly zone. I like that. I like that a lot.
Oh yeah,
could be a good shirt. Let's see. Popo looked good, but Torre and Poyer performances were underwhelming, according to me.
I thought Mohamed Toure was fine. He could have been a bit better in coverage. I'll give that. In terms of Poyer, I looked at the metrics. He didn't give up anything on his side of the field, so I call that solid fundamental play as a safety. When your name is not being called, that means
good point.
You're
see guys playing. They used to say about Deion Sanders. Nobody's throwing to him. Other players, I didn't hear his name all game. I mean,
so in coverage, fine, exemplary play. However, I do think his tackling could have been better. He took about like one or two bad angles, but it's week 1. There's room for improvement.
Kubish is in the house. Go Canes. B Rabbit, I was there in spirit. Mando, LOL. It's your boy B Rabbit. 4th and forever. Colorado Cane. The storm was wild. That was. People were texting all over. Are they going to be able to play the game? It's just crazy.
Nah, weather. You don't. It was like, but we pulled up. It was like sunny and cloudy, but out of nowhere between 4 and 4:30, it really did come out of nowhere because it was cloudy, but it was like a side winding. It's like 20, 30 minutes. It was nuts, man.
You think about like that thing in flash flood in Texas earlier in the year where that tragedy. It's just out of nowhere. This weather can change so fast. It's pretty scary if you think about it. If you're driving on the road at that time, you're in trouble.
Where we parked, it wasn't that bad. Across from us on the same row, there was so much puddles that you saw people were barefoot because it was crazy. Like we were on the decent side.
Mondo, let me ask you: did you see the video of that Cane fan that grabbed a folding chair, threw it out in the middle of the road of the tailgate, and just sat there in the rain with like trunks on? I
gotta see that. I gotta see that.
I gotta find that video again. That
was hysterical. Yes,
I have not seen that. I gotta see that. That's crazy.
I would be thinking Mando would have taken a video of that and he would have gone ahead and pinned it on his page like the like the car fire.
Why couldn't that happen now when they're like paying people? Like that was a hit.
That was a hit. You got. I remember my friend shared this with me. Aaron Frazier, my fellow young Chicagoan, Scott and Lightfoot are going to be problems. Lightfoot is fast as hell.
Yeah, Lightfoot really flashed on the tape. Justin Scott had quite a couple of impact plays there in the game. I think the broadcast does not do it justice how big that hit was that he made on Malachi Fields. And to sniff out that screen pass coming as an interior defensive lineman and to be able to close on that's really impressive stuff. Really excited about what Justin Scott could do this year. And the coaches, they said it during the offseason, they think he could propel himself up into being a national name this year. So we'll see as the season goes.
Giovanni, excellent question because I did not notice his name at all. What is going to happen with Ray Ray?
So Ray played. He got in the rotation there with receivers. Right now, it looks there's about a 6-man solid rotation at receiver right now, potentially 7. Tony Johnson got 2 snaps. But for the most part, you had like CJ, Malachi, Keelan Marion, JoJo Trader, Joshua Moore, and Ray. All those guys got in the game. I mentioned Tony Johnson got 2 snaps. Ray, JoJo, and Joshua Moore, all those guys got about 10 or a little bit over 10 apiece. And then the other 3, which was Malachi, CJ, and Keelan, they all got like between 40 to 50 snaps. Wow. So JoJo was on a snap count, though. He is going to play more. Ray will play this year. He's improved a lot from last year as well. He was on kick returns, too. Just there wasn't opportunities for him this weekend. So, this past weekend, I think he'll get opportunities this weekend, but it's hard to deny the talent that Malachi Tony is. I think Ray Ray's a phenomenal guy in the aspect of, I've said this before, I think like a yak guy, yards after catch, you get him in space, let him use his speed and how elusive he is. I think that's his bread and butter there, and I think you're going to see that this year.
All right, great. We didn't 2 snaps for Tony Johnson, right? He came over as a transfer. He obviously was expecting more when he came here.
Yeah, I mean, but it's hard to deny how good Malachi Tony is.
Yeah, so he's in that same position.
That's one of the top 5 secondaries in the country, and what Malachi Tony did it's undeniable.
Yeah, I mean, 10 targets, 682. I mean,
amazing. They didn't go to they went to Josh Moore, I think 3 times. He dropped that one pass that was a little out of his hands, but he should have had it. He caught 2. They didn't go deep to him or anything like that, but it was his first game. He's a true freshman, isn't he?
Yeah, I think you're going to start to see guys like Josh Moore and JoJo Trader get going really soon. JoJo because of coming off the injury, and Josh Moore just getting his feet wet.
They went deep JoJo. They went to twice deep to JoJo, I thought.
Yeah,
right?
the first one he kind of cut under the route. A little bit of a mistake on his part. Should have stayed on the outside shoulder of the defensive back. And the second one, that was a defensive pass interference. That would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, that was definitely a pass interference. They didn't call that. 4th and forever, the defense played fast and real. Colorado can't exactly. They were fast. They were real. They were swarming. Kabish, trench monsters, absolutely. That's what we thought all along. And I think this is for real, this team on both sides of the ball. Papa Cool, welcome to the show. He held the Penn State runners under 100 yards, too.
He's talking about the Notre Dame defense.
Notre Dame defense. Okay, and the Penn State runners were solid. Roger Allen, FSU and Florida garbage, both rated 8 and 4. I definitely can actually see that. Hopefully they're garbage, or we make them garbage when we play them both, and we don't let them pull it out. Aaron, Corey Heatherman, a part of Miami coaching tree. He coached under Greg Schiano and coached under Butch Davis, who coached under Jimmy Johnson.
That's true.
There you go.
That's great. So I didn't realize that the ties were that deep. Roger, difference between Miami last year and this is the depth on defense. One injury won't derail the season. Excellent point.
I agree with that aspect. Only one little position I'll disagree, though. I still am concerned if an injury happens at defensive tackle because we haven't seen the young guys yet. We haven't seen Dante Simpson play in an actual game yet. We haven't seen Artavius Jones. That's, there is concern there, but other than that, I think they'll be fine.
You better love somebody. The defense was faster, not confused. Absolutely. It didn't seem like, and I did hear that. And speaking to some of the players last year that come in the store, offense and defense, he said there were a lot of people that had no idea what to do.
And the pre-snap communication really stood out too. I don't know if people could see that from the broadcast or you watched from the stands, but what I saw from the sideline, not much confusion actually.
No, definitely didn't seem that way. Kabish and the young guys got in and made a huge impact. Great show, fellas. Thank you very much, Kabish. Miami Mayhem reposted this stream. Fantastic. Thank you, Miami Mayhem. Dave Ping, how long should you?
I
don't know.
Okay.
Should have seen Brett's face.
I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, okay, is this the medical? Maybe they think it's the medical show. That's on after. No. AO and Rand, Miami Mayhem. Yo, okay. Mario, like Alfred, car salesman Golden, he is not getting fired. Unlike Alfred, car salesman Golden, he is not getting fired. Mario is definitely not getting fired.
That's a very true statement. There's a lot of support behind Mario with this program, down from donors, boosters, administration level. They're all in with him. You ask some people around the program too, they say, if Mario can't do it, then who can? And that is a very true thought that has been passed around. You also look at it from the perspective of it's still too early to say, but you go back to Butch Davis or Jimmy Johnson or Howard Schnellenberger. What would have happened if those guys stayed long-term? From what I understand, Mario doesn't have NFL aspirations. He wants to stay here and coach. So what if Miami had their version of Bobby Bowden in Mario Cristobal? We'll see.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, Mario is someone that doesn't. Just like I always thought Larry Coker would stay here forever if they allowed him. Guys like that this is the epitome of their of what they want to be. And all these people that say, like when Butch left, he wanted a new stadium. Howard wanted a new stadium. That was some of the things they talked about. But really, I mean, the stadium we play in now is phenomenal. And it is so loud. And you're underneath cover when it's raining, which is nice. You go to Gainesville, you're going to be soaking wet if it rains like that. Juan Manuel, was Miss Hudson responsible for North Carolina and Bill Belichick embarrassment on Monday? Miss Hudson should curve her and Bill. Okay. I knew he was going somewhere with this. All right. Yes, I know. Juan Manuel must have been getting a kick out of that when she was on the sidelines. 727 Canes, welcome to the show. Can you let Cheek talk and not interrupt him? Sorry, am I interrupting Gio? 727 Canes, I apologize. Okay, I didn't think I was, but it's your show. 727. We'll try to remember that. Go on, Mando. Gio.
Naeem Ali said here, why am I not seeing the big hose in the middle like we see in so many other offensive line, but we're supposed to have the best offensive line? Don't forget big holes. Okay, don't forget puppy clothing. I'll say this, Naeem, look, hats off to Notre Dame. Their defensive line really brought it. I thought Miami's interior guys did a pretty good job in that game. However, Notre Dame's defensive ends, they gave Miami's tackles some trouble. I do think so. I said it earlier in this show. Hats off to their guys on the edge. I think they did a pretty good job against Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's don't forget the puppy clothing line. The scene they came in with, the guy was wearing the puppy shirt. It was in orange and green. It was a cool line. 305 Sports Now. Welcome to the show. Beck is very methodical. Totally agree. Totally agree. He's did he impress you more, Gio, than you thought, or was it about the same?
I think it was pretty much what I expected, and I think he's going to get progressively better as the season goes. I don't think necessarily that they entirely let him rip. I think it was within the system and the game plan, and I think, like I said, as the year progresses, especially from like the deep shot perspective of the offense, like taking those downfield passes, I think you're going to see more of that. And funny enough, I mentioned the downfield passes. But two of his touchdowns actually were beyond his 2 touchdowns were beyond 20 yards. So
they were nice passes. Mando, what was your opinion on that? Did Beck do as good as you thought, better, or about this, or any worse?
I thought he played excellent. No big mistakes. A big 0 next to that interception.
Yeah.
I thought he was new team. I mean, again, he just came over. You saw how emotional he was in the post-game press conference. On the field with ESPN, I didn't see that till I got home, obviously, but he went through some stuff. He was being doubted by a lot of people, elbow and stuff like that. So you could tell getting acclimated to the new team, new city and all that. I thought he played great. The check down throw, like Gio mentioned earlier, he played within the system, and he played great. I thought he played fine. Sometimes I mentioned to Gio and them in the chat, sometimes it's not about, 33 or 45 for 440 and 7 touchdowns. He played great. He played perfect.
20 for 30, 2 touchdowns.
That's
basically
it.
Similar to his game against Clemson last year, opening game. He was 23 for 33 in that game with 2 touchdowns.
I'll say one thing about it, though, with Beck, because it's funny. So everyone remembers what the girlfriend said. There was a TikTok video that came out that went viral that she said, I broke up with him and nobody even likes him, she said. And funny enough, all you see the entire broadcast is Beck's teammates hugging him, clapping up and everything, dabbing up at everything you want to call it, celebrating with him during and after the game. Beck gives a ton of credit to his teammates during his post-game interview. And then Mario confirms today on the Pat McAfee show that Beck fits in with this team and the players love him. So much for the narrative that nobody likes Carson Beck.
Well,
I must say,
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
I did not have Gio going there on this program tonight on my bingo card. I really did not. But that's excellent, Mr. Leon.
I had to bring it up because there was some crazy narratives. It really was.
I mean, there's an old adage: it's better to sleep in the corner of a roof in a house than it is to live side by side with a quarrelsome woman. And that's from the Bible. And as I said to my kids, who knew there were quarrelsome women back in those days? So anyway, I agree. Ward was about yards after catch in the seams. Beck has the typical deep post arm. Vegas Kane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? We're going to see so much more. It was one game out of 12.
Sure.
I do think that Beck definitely is the players love him and he loves the players. You can see there is something. He's not just making that up. Him crying at the end. This is an emotional thing. I mean, he wants to prove everybody in Georgia wrong. Obviously, he wants to prove Georgia wrong. And I think this is his home. If he has a good season and he was going to go in the Hall of Fame somewhere, for example, he'd want to be doing it in Miami.
Yeah.
Blue, I told you all Christian Gray was going to be. Miami targeted him 12 times. He allowed 8 interceptions for 75 yards. Christian Gray.
Yeah, that's true.
You did tell us that. Good point, Blue. You called it.
I'm looking at
That's
the
a good
metrics.
point. He did.
I'm looking at the metrics right now. Christian Gray and Leonard Moore did not play good at all.
It's interesting because before I was doing some reading before the game, they mentioned last year a couple games against USC and somebody else like Gray got torched. Yeah. So this isn't the first time. So yeah,
and he was holding like crazy all night. He was the biggest culprit of the holds. Number 6 on the Notre Dame defensive backfield. He held Malachi. He held Keelan Marion late in the game. Thankfully, they called that one. Thankfully, because that was blatant. Held JoJo Trader on one as well, and held Malachi again late in the game too.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get over this kid's 17 years old.
Yeah,
and he's playing like that at that stage. Like what?
He'll be 18 this month, but still, at the end of the day, he's 17. He was 17 years old on August 31st. That's all that matters.
Crazy.
Well, Riley Williams, right? He was 17 most of last year, wasn't he?
Ryan Williams, yeah.
Ryan Williams, yes.
Okay.
Let's see, Roger Allen. We did not have a receiver that could get open, deep, consistent last year.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think we're a much deeper receiver this year.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, let's see. Blue CanesWear was slammed on Saturday. It was the first stop I made after I landed. I was looking for you, Brett, but didn't see you. Blue, sorry I missed you. I didn't come in until about 1 o'clock, I think. So sorry I missed you. But I've been told I missed Devin Hester. I missed Rick Ross. I missed Michael Yo. I missed Trick Daddy. I missed a lot of famous people that I'm going to be there early on those 2 days, whatever it takes. I close, but I'm going to be there early. Everyone says, Brett, why are you in the picture with Rick Ross? Why aren't you in the picture with Devin Hester?
They're making you feel bad here.
Exactly. It's like totally John, who works with me, and then Jeff are in all the pictures. So Roger Allen, Gators are not good. USF 34-24 over the Gators. Interesting.
Wow.
That's possible.
I don't know. I think the Gators will pull that out. I think it will be close, though.
Could you see
the Gators are like a 17.5 point favorite in that game.
I was surprised.
Not that I haven't looked already, Brett. You know,
and I'm guessing it's 5. I'm guessing it's 5.5 to 1 the odds on the money line, Mando.
I'd take the under in that game.
Me neither.
Either one we're going to play, so it doesn't matter. But it's almost is it better that Florida and us are undefeated? Is it better that we play USF undefeated because Florida is going to be big anyway? That's the story.
Well, before we get Florida plays at LSU next Sunday night in Death Valley. That's going to be crazy.
Oh, that could be. Then that could be a trap game. They could be 1-2 with only who they play, LIU.
Yeah, Long Island. Yeah.
Okay. Juan Manuel, Beck's throw to JoJo. Deep first drive sent Notre Dame a message. JoJo beat double coverage. Malachi took the 2 cornerbacks, Devontae Smith and Elmore, out of the game late. Notre Dame is a top 5 defense. So I think Beck is going to have a phenomenal year with this team, and I think we're going to be really excited. And everybody thought if you can't win with Cam Ward, you can't win. Well, I think we're going to prove them wrong. 727 Canes, I'm a little surprised that more wide receivers didn't show up.
I thought the wide receivers were fine, honestly. I think you're going to continue to see more of them out of this season. I'm not concerned with it at all. Right. That was the best secondary they will face the entire year, and I think even including playoffs if they get to that point.
All right. SMU Nation, thanks for joining the show. Miami is overrated. We always appreciate when someone comes to our show. They're not even a fan. They sit through the whole show just to tell us that. Thank you. We will see, but it'll be very interesting to see Miami and SMU in that game. Hopefully both teams run undefeated at that time. That would be awesome.
I said my hot take during the offseason. I think SMU was.
I remember Gio said that.
I said they were a one-hit wonder. So we'll see. We'll see.
You know what? I didn't realize that Brashard Smith is on Kansas City. And when someone drafted him in fantasy, and I said, Brashard, I did not even realize that, or I would have got him. He could have a monster year with Kansas City.
Yeah, he's with the Chiefs. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a good fit for him.
Yeah, very good for him. He could be a star there. Great opportunity.
I wish he was willing to play running back at Miami because he refused to.
Yeah, no, he would have been special. Gio, I would like to see Lofton and Pringle use late third quarter and fourth quarter. They both bring a fastball and bulldozer on Manuel.
I think you'll see Pringle this weekend. I don't know how much throughout the season because they have a lot of trust in that top three, in that rotation at running back. But Lofton, I think he will get more opportunities. It's just the way Notre Dame was schemed up on defense against Miami.
Exactly. Ralph Ray is going to the portal next year. He's not getting burnt anymore with Malachi. He's not going to get burned anymore with Malachi there. Definitely possible. And was it Luke that was representing him? Uncle Luke?
I mean, Ray's going to play this year. I think it's still too early. It's like, I am in a group chat today and someone told me, oh, JoJo's going to transfer. He only played 9 snaps. JoJo played 9 snaps because he was hurt going into this game. He's just came back from injury. He's not 100% cleared yet. He was on a snap count. So it's still too early. You got to let the entire year play out. I know Ray brings a lot from a yards after catch perspective. And I think he's going to get those opportunities at certain points this year. So we'll see. And the kid's Miami through and through. He's competed since he's been here. He competed with Malachi too. Ray had some really good moments in camp as well. Malachi's a really special talent. Very rare type of guy that comes in and does that. But Ray is a good player in his own right. And I think people are going to see that this year. And I'm not saying that to sugarcoat it. I'm saying it because I've witnessed it with my own eyes. And there's alumni that have told me this, that have attended private portions of practice, that have seen it for themselves. So don't write them off so quick. Because remember, everyone wrote off Samson Okunlola really quick. And look what happened on Sunday. So I do want to highlight this one comment here because I think it's absolutely hilarious. And I think Mando is going to laugh. Juan Manuel said here, to the SMU fan in here, in Miami, we shoot ponies and make ropa vieja delicious. Delicacy, ponies, proceed with caution, SMU fan.
I glanced at that and I didn't want to read it. So I said, okay.
I think Juan Manuel's going to be at the Improv this weekend.
I know. When he's shooting ponies and things like that, I said,
oh, my Lord. Jeez.
727 Canes. Let's talk about the catch. So we've kind of glossed over it. And it was the catch of the I mean, that was every bit as good as the Odell Beckham catch. And he had double coverage on him, basically. The Gator guy made a nice catch on the sideline as well. But as they said in the top plays of the week, he really had no coverage there. How would you guys compare that catch, and where were you sitting, and what did you think when you saw it?
It happened right in front of me.
Okay.
Last year, the Virginia Tech end of the game play, and then now this year that one, it was incredible. I know Florida fans were talking about it for about 24 hours, saying, "Oh, Vernell Brown one-hand catch against Long Island University." CJ Daniels said, "Hold my beer. I'm going to do it between 2 defenders in a nationally televised game, top 10 matchup." It ended up number 1 on SportsCenter, and rightfully so. We'll see as the year goes on. Maybe there may be more crazier catches, but he set the bar really high to open the season.
Absolutely. What do you think, Mando? You're in that area too, or across the field?
No, unfortunately, it was going towards the other end zone, but still, I mean, like absolutely remarkable. He got up, man. He was that was some serious hang time by Mr. Daniels.
And he hadn't caught a touchdown in 2 years. I think I saw, right?
Yeah, his last one was
First
at
touchdown.
last year. He had a heel injury at LSU. Funny enough, he had a heel injury, and he was still the third receiver for LSU last season.
Oh. The lift he got, I mean, the expression, I can only imagine what's going through the safety's hand. He's waiting for the ball, thinking, can I run this back all the way? You know, where am I going to go? Which way? And the ball just is taken out of thin air and grabbed. And, you know, he didn't even touch, you know, he could have made some contact. He was just shocked. And he's got to be looking at that. And there is a good video on X right about where you're sitting. I don't, well, you were on the field behind the end zone, or you're on the sideline?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm right there on the field, on the sidelines and the end zones.
Okay, so that just phenomenal. And I was on the other side of that end zone, but the other side, it was just like, wow. What happened to be putting Dylan Day for Jacoby Thomas?
Bryce Fitzgerald had a really good camp. Highlighted his numbers. It was, you know, small sample size, 9 snaps, but didn't give up any catches or did really well in coverage. He played nine third down packages, as I mentioned, 1 defensive stop. Dylan Day got out there a little bit later on in the game, but I think Bryce Fitzgerald is the guy to watch. I think he's going to continue to play more and more as the season goes. It's very clear that they want to get him on the field.
Mm-hmm. Duck, who likes smash mouth football, they ran the ball for positive yards and early downs in the first quarter. Real football. They did. They pounded them. And the drive at the end of the half and the drive at the beginning of the second half were works of art, mixing the run and the pass there.
Yeah, Duck always says, run the ball.
Run the ball. It doesn't seem like Duck here's how it's done. Just run the baby. All right, let's see. You know, we had that guy from Notre Dame last week. He was such a pleasure. He knew his stuff, the Fighting Irish guy. He said he would come back on when we beat him, too. I haven't seen him yet. Let's see. SMU is adding his congratulatory things. Nobody cares about SMU or the Irish. It's all about the U. Thank you, SMU Nation. Notre fans saying the same last week, and they got to eat humble pie. Canes, Cats, Heat. Man, we are bleeping back. I think we are. I mean, do you notice how many celebrities now, like McAfee? Is it McAfee?
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee is all over the Cane bandwagon. I mean, you got all these other people that are in. Obviously,
but at the game you had Ron DeSantis,
Dana White, Jeff
Bezos, Edgerrin James, Rick Ross, Trick Daddy, Andre Johnson, Ray Lewis. I mean, Devin Hester. You know, just popping in my head that I could recall that I saw there is. The stars came out. You know, everyone
definitely did. Michael Irvin, of course.
When Miami's doing well, they are the hot ticket.
Yes, I'd say the North Carolina ticket was a hot one too. They had Michael Jordan, they had Lawrence Taylor.
Oh yeah,
and they saw a 7-0 game, and they should have left at that time.
they looked good for one drive, and that was it.
One drive, it was that. Now,
yeah.
Sorry, Juan Manuel. I'm sure you were going to use that joke, but I stole it from you. Let's see. Roger Allen, 8 last top 10 victory in 2017. That was our last top 10 victory, right?
Was it the 2017 game? Is that what it was?
8 years ago was the last time.
Wow.
8 years ago was the last time we beat a top 10 team. Canes, Cat, Heat, firing me up, Mando, firing me up, Gio. Come on, guys. Notre Dame still thinks they are favored the top O-line award because they are Notre Dame. True. Yeah. But they are not. Fletcher made some really good runs. Yeah, I definitely agree. 727, good point. Fletcher just missed breaking a couple.
Yeah, he had, I think it was either 2 or 3 runs that were like plus 10-yard runs. So, yeah, he had a good game.
Mm-hmm. Was surprised not to see Fletcher starting the game, and then even the second drive not come in. I figured he was the heir apparent. It was kind of strange.
Some of that behind it, Fletcher got a little nicked up early on in camp, and then he was fine. He was good to go like the last 2.5 weeks. Jordan Lyle coming into this game, I was told through a source that he was and this could be verified. I mentioned this before the game, actually. He was having a really good week of practice. Sometimes some of these situations, the way they play out is how guys are doing leading up into the game.
Good point. That's how. Blue, I don't think this question was asked. You're the first person. What's the issue with Charles Brantley?
Minor injury he had in the middle of camp. He'll be full go soon, from what I understand.
All right, good. Let's see. Paul Feinbaum needs to kiss Mario's meatballs and sauce. Paul, they're guaranteed. Paul Feinbaum, you can't not get a good laugh when you talk about him. Ralph, welcome to the show. We're all wrapped up with this week's strong start. Memoria is the second part of the season with 7 straight away games in cold weather. Do we have enough?
Well, it's not 7 straight away games, but it is 7 straight games. And, well, seven consecutive games. And then you have the 2 road games with Virginia Tech and Pittsburgh in late November with that weather. And Pittsburgh may have a squad this year. Eli Holstein and the quarterback, and then the running back they have, Des Reed, South Florida native. He's really good. And they got a pretty decent defense. So I think that's a matchup that people got to circle on the calendar near the end of the season. Virginia Tech, they had a little bit of a nail biter with South Carolina until South Carolina pulled away late in that game. Especially with some Beamer ball from Shane Beamer, Frank Beamer's son, coaching the Gamecocks. So I thought that was pretty fitting that they had a special teams touchdown to kind of break away in that matchup.
Mando, you got to take off, or you staying with us for a while?
No, for a few more moments. I got to be up like at 5 in the morning.
Ralph, my point at 5 in the morning, poor guy. My point on that, Ralph, is that life is short.
I'm used to it.
Football season is so fast. It feels like we play 1 month of football and 11 months of no football. Whereas hockey, for example, the season just ended and it's on next month. So the point is, I'm not worried about the last game of the season. I'm going to enjoy this Notre Dame win right now. Granted, I'm a little nervous about the offense and the play calling at times, but just let's enjoy Notre Dame. This was a phenomenal victory. Let's enjoy it and let's take them one game at a time. If we worry about the last game, the season's already over. Blay and Scott are going to be a problem this year, according to 305 Sports Now.
Yeah.
Definitely agree on that, Gio, right?
Yeah, I think Justin Scott is really going to open people's eyes this year.
Mm-hmm. Blue, the F the Luck shirt was a huge hit. Got so many compliments from it. The biggest problem with that shirt is I didn't order enough. We ordered some 100, they sold them. We ordered a couple of 100. Could have had 1,000 they would have sold. Some people were not allowed in the stadium.
Oh, well, here, me. I told you. I'm walking up all cocky with the wife. I could just see a lady looking at me that works there. She's like, no profanity allowed. So I had to walk back to the car, change the shirt. Luckily, I had my Jersey Shore thinking cap on. I had the T-shirt changed ready. So I changed shirts. Yeah, they didn't let me in. She pointed me out. You can't wear that profanity. I'm like, oh, shit. All right. Walk back. Change my shirt.
Here's my arguing point to that, though, about that. It's technically not profanity if you got the leaf clovers covering up 2 out of the 4 letters. So
it may have just been her because I went inside the stadium and there were people wearing it. So it was just the lady, I guess. I don't know.
She felt her role was more important than what it was.
That's a great point. That's a great point, Gio. Some people,
but it surprised me. Even my wife was like, "What?" Like, yeah, I couldn't wear the shirt.
She just wanted you to take off your shirt.
You know what I would have done?
She just wanted Mando to undress.
You know what I would have done? You know what I would have done if I were you? Come in with another shirt, but have that one under.
Right.
Then
she wasn't going to strip search you, Mando, or maybe she was.
I should have done what Gio said. You're right.
Yeah, I'll turn it inside out. Well, someone with Jeff's team, tailgating, they made him take off the Catholics First Convict shirt.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, and years ago, Garrett was at a game. He had the Nevin Shapiro shirt that we once made. Snitches get stitches, and he had to take that shirt off too. So
Are you serious?
but somebody's outside of the stadium selling black market things. Bitch, I'm a Miami Hurricane. Everybody's wearing that shirt. They're selling it there, but we're not going to allow F Clover. C whatever. Anyway,
whatever.
but yes, Blue, that shirt's so phenomenal. I'm glad you liked it. We're working on a special shirt for the UF game as well. First question is the wealth and income inequality. They seem to be giving a lot of props to Carr for his above average statistics, but that was 100% of function of the fact that Miami's defense was laser focused on shutting down the run game, which we did, and that was the reason we won.
That's very true.
Yep.
Agree with that. And it's almost like their coach knew that he knew to go more with Carr running the ball than those other guys. But the defense was just so good to shut down that running and shut down both of those guys. It was phenomenal. That defense to me is I'm so excited to see them. I love the offensive game, but to see that defense swarming like that, you guys got to be excited.
33 rushing yards from their star. 33.
They were held under 100 rushing yards too.
That's phenomenal.
Yep.
Blue, thank you for telling them to go up to CanesWear. And by the way, the show is sponsored by CanesWear, Spot South Florida Fan Shop. Tell us about it, Gio.
2655 South University Drive. You can find Hurricanes gear, Dolphins gear, Panthers gear, Inter Miami. I might be forgetting a team actually. Miami Marlins. I still call them Marlins gear there too.
So it's but lots of it's all the stuff for all the Canes teams, the Dolphins, like I said, the Panthers. I wear my Panther hat. I'm going to wear it every podcast because I want the Panther luck to be wearing off on the Hurricanes. That would be nice back to back. And Boston had that run for a while, the New England area, Tampa Bay. We want to be the city of champions for sure.
But funny thing, you bring up the Panthers. I kind of view it the same way with the Hurricanes. That I think there's this new subset of South Florida fans because you kind of see it like the craze with Inter Miami when Messi first got here and whatnot, and then now the Panthers having all the success that they're having and the rise in attendance that they've had over the last I would say give or take the last 5 to 6 years. I could see that happening with the Hurricanes as long as they continue putting out a consistent product. You build it and they will come.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But is this the reason we're sold so many tickets? Is it because of the 1-2 punch of Notre Dame and Florida?
I think so. I think it comes into play, yes.
Mm-hmm. But if you win, it's a great atmosphere. I've got a friend, my close friends, and he said college football, and he always loved pro football. I used to drag him to FSU Miami way back when we went to college to go to USF. But and it would be like, he was more into the pros. Now he says college is much more fun than the pros. And it is.
It's not even close, actually.
Yeah. Exactly. Ralph Ray would be a perfect fit in a Rhett Lashley offense with the speed and yards after catch. I do agree with that.
That's true.
5 rings. Welcome to the show. Hellcat Kid got some burn on Saturday. Really want to see what this kid can do.
He'll play on Saturday. He was dressed out for the Notre Dame game. He'll play this Saturday. He's put on quite some size since he first got here. Very agile running back. I wouldn't say he's a burner, but solid back overall. He'll get burned this weekend.
Hellcat Kid is who, for those of us that don't know?
Chris Wheatley Humphrey. He was a class of 2024 kid, and he's a redshirt freshman this year.
Okay, great. New King God, Beck going to get better as the season goes. Will be a Heisman front runner by week 9. I think definitely a possibility. And as soon as they allow him to be the number 1 pick and they allow that bet to be going, I'm going to place a little wager on him. We shall see. Hassan, welcome to the show. Hi, fellas. Let's not sugarcoat it. The refs did everything to help Notre Dame get a win. There were so many holdings and pass interference with no calls. Absolutely. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Terrible. Yeah, it was terrible.
It was hideous. Now, I thought it's so easy to. I'm not saying anybody's betting, but it's so easy to go to draft. In our case, Hard Rock, other places, DraftKings, Caesars, MGM. I mean, is it that they wanted Notre Dame, or that it's it's scary to think what could be? But the
No, I
calls
mean, anybody who's watching this or here, oh yeah, you're just complaining about the refs because of your team. But there were some calls in that game that were blatantly, like really poorly officiated calls.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Ralph, if we win the ACC champ and make waves in the playoffs, do you guys think Dawson is gone?
No. And the only way I'll say yes, if he gets a big offer. I mean, like a big time Power 4 program comes in to offer him a job. He's already had opportunities to take head coaching jobs with other programs, and he's actually turned them down.
Wow.
So he's not taking it for a small program.
No, it would have to be a big opportunity for him to go.
What Lashley took at SMU, would that be a big opportunity?
I think as long as it's Power 4, yeah.
Juan Manuel, Captain Obvious has a question. Is Beck's okay? Miami's taking a big risk. Can Beck throw well enough?
I think so.
Yeah, I think there's something spin to this question, Gio, that I figured you would figure it out.
Yeah, as far as Dawson, no, if the offense clicks and hums again this year, even to a lesser degree than last year, he's gonna get offered by somebody. That's in my opinion.
Material.
What's that?
Some guys are great coordinators. Is he head coach material?
No way to know until he gets there. I mean, in football, some guys are meant to be coordinating coaches. Some guys are meant to be the lead dog. I mean, no way to know until you get that position. I mean, can you lead the room? Can you stand in front of everybody and call all the shots? Some guys can, some guys can't.
True. It's important to get the right job. Because a lot of guys get one shot and that's it. They never get another shot. So that's a good point. Go to a school that you have the best opportunity.
That, or you have to cut your teeth again to get another opportunity. Look at Manny Diaz.
Exactly.
He cut his teeth again. Then he got the opportunity at Duke now. Look at Al Golden. He was the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame last year. He was once the head coach.
He never got another opportunity. Do you think they're missing him?
I thought their defense
wasn't bad. I
really
mean,
different from last year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Almighty Finn, that FSU game ain't the cakewalk you all once thought it was going to be. Notre Dame secondary isn't as physical as FSU.
I got to give credit to one guy in particular in Florida State's secondary that really stands out. South Florida kid. He played with Jeremiah Smith and JoJo Trader and all those kids on the Chaminade Madonna squads. Edwin Joseph looked really good for Florida State. Really, really good. He's going to be a problem this year.
Edwin Joseph, will hopefully not see him much.
Yeah.
How about that?
I don't mean to look ahead, but those two games back to back are going to be crazy. Florida, Miami, and then FSU, Miami. That's nuts.
We have we're the bye week. The bye week. We know that in the
between.
past we have not been good. Then I hate the fact we have the Florida State sandwich between two bye weeks. I hope we win that. We need to win the Gator game. You got to win going into the bye week and win coming out. Because then the fans are still happy. If not, you get 2 weeks to be pissed off. Last year, did we lose after a bye to Georgia Tech?
We did lose to Georgia Tech. So I don't know. Was it a bye week before that?
I don't remember if it was a bye or not. I got to take a look back.
I know it was before the bye or after the bye. Jet 305, welcome to the show. How about them Canes fellas? Absolutely. 618 Canes, welcome to the show. Charmar Brown impressed?
He did.
All right. Almighty Finn, Miami. Sorry.
No, I mentioned it earlier. Charmar Brown really impressed. Big time.
Physical. He's a physical closer in the run game. 51 out of his 54 rushing yards came after contact. Really good.
What's with the names on this guy? We got Charmar, we got Shamar, we got Marty.
Well, it's Shamar, and then he goes by Marty.
Okay, so just Marty's his nickname.
Yeah.
Okay. First guy I've ever met with a nickname named Marty. Not that I've met him yet. I'll have him in the store, and then I'll say we officially meet him. We'll ask him that question when he gets to CanesWear.
I think I'm going to check out, guys. I got to get up in about 4 hours.
All right.
But, hey, I hope to see everybody out there Saturday. I'll be out there Saturday. Gio, you out there Saturday again? Or obviously?
Yeah, of course. I'll be there.
Let's do it.
Mando,
all right, guys.
Where can people see all your magic, the Mando magic?
Hard Rock Stadium, right? Hopefully they're. I mean, hopefully no torrential downpour. But I'm on X at Lakers Canes 305. Always on here with you guys every week. But it's just shaping up to be. I know we talked all preseason. Before I go, we talked all preseason week after week. Now we see what we got. This is going to be very exciting. I like. I'm at work like yesterday and today. Like reading. This is exciting. This is like. I'm so hyped. It's really fun. So, looking forward to Saturday and the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Mando, always a pleasure to have you on the show. You definitely are the glue that brings it together. Thank you very much.
I thought that was Gio. Wait a minute.
Well, I'm going to say it to Gio after you leave. Okay.
Hey, have a good night, everybody. All right.
All right. Take care, Mando. Thanks for joining in. We'll go a little bit more, Gio. We probably would go all night if we answer every question. So we'll go a few minutes more. Almighty Finn, Miami FSU could be like the early 90s. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it, Gio?
I've always said, I know there's some Miami fans that view it differently. They say, oh, I don't care if Florida State sucks or this or that. No, I want Florida State to be good, and I want Miami to beat them at the same time. And the reason why I say that is it's better for the conference, it's better for the perception overall, everything in general. So I think when both teams are good, it's also really good for college football. One of college football's most storied rivalries, too.
Exactly. And if those two got good again, ESPN would be dying to renew the contract to keep that conference going, in my opinion. I know they don't want to, they don't have to, but if Miami and Florida State got good, we could turn into one of the top conferences. Because that run they had in the 80s, early 90s, it was nobody talked about the SEC in those days as much. They didn't talk about the Big Ten. It was all Miami and FSU. They dominated college sports, college football. So it'd be great to get there. So I'm rooting for Florida State to be good again. Just lose to us. That's all I want.
So Blue said here, Maurice Crum, former Miami All-American linebacker in the 80s, his son is the co-DC at SMU. He also played at Notre Dame because Randy Shannon wouldn't offer him. I remember that. I also remember it was Benny Blades' son. Miami didn't offer H.B. Blades. He ended up becoming an All-American linebacker at Pittsburgh. So it's funny.
In Washington, I think, also in the NFL.
Yeah,
you're right. It is crazy when we don't offer legacy players.
But it seems like the luck of the draw hasn't been in Miami's favor in that when they have passed on some guys that are legacy kids. Like they get some legacy kids here and, it doesn't pan out as people expect. And then the kids that go somewhere else, they end up having a really good career. You hope to see that change now.
You're right. We've missed on a lot of legacy, and the pressure's on those kids that are legacy players.
Oh, yes.
It's so much. The Highsmiths, the Blades, families, all those guys.
I've always had this belief. I've talked about this with some other people in the sports media world, and I've talked with former players about this. This is the way I've kind of viewed it. I think for the most part, the fathers that are really great that played a certain sport, the sons tend to be like okay or good, maybe not as good. There is some outliers like the Griffeys, they this, or the Matthews family in football. But then on the other spectrum, like the fathers that were like good or okay players, and then they have sons that are just phenomenal players.
That's a good point. It's very difficult. You see it once in a while, the superstar families, but it's not all the time. The Bosa family, obviously. John Bosa was number one for the Dolphins. His kids were then obviously stars. It's hard enough. I don't have one. Most people don't have one person in their whole entire family that's a star. And some of these families have multiples. It's crazy, the genetics and the work ethic these guys have. Are they turning Blunt into a DT? We could use some monsters in that room. You mentioned that before, right, Gio? That was from Ralph.
Yeah, no, well, not exactly that they're turning him into a DT, but I mentioned before the season that he will fill in there and help out Miami a lot with that defensive tackle rotation. He's first defensive end off the bench. He's your fourth defensive tackle in that entire rotation. So he's going to help Miami a lot this year. But just the frame and everything, he's more likely staying edge in college, but will shift inside sometimes, kind of like Albane and Mesidor have done in their careers.
Jet 305 just physically beat down the best team on the schedule. Sky is the absolute limit.
Yeah, the trench battles. That was the most impressive part about it.
Absolutely dominating both sides. CJ and Malachi will be a great combo this year. A whole wide receiver room is extremely underrated. The Jets. I agree on that.
I agree.
I mean, we heard one of the commenters said, wasn't that impressed, and some people may have felt that way. But I think they're only going to get better, and I just think it was exciting. I didn't see any much better performances last year from the team. 20 completions he had, right? So it was a solid game. New King God, we need to use Ray Ray like how LSU used Aaron Anderson with screens and put him in space.
I agree. That's what he does best. Yards after catch. He can stretch the field too. He has the speed to be able to do that. So I agree.
Samson looked better than McCoy, according to Jet 305.
Samson really flashed on the tape. It's not just even the grades. Like, at least from what I saw in terms of the run game, they were able to move guys off the ball 2-3 yards. Just really impressive stuff from Samson and just the progress that he's made.
And he was number one, we said, in grading and pass efficiency.
Yeah, he was Miami's best offensive lineman in pass protection.
That's awesome. CJ will get an ESPY award for that, Jet 305.
We'll see. It's a long season ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's just win. The linebacker play was a lot better than last year, 727 Canes. Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I mean, they were solid. Popo, Teray, who else was in there that you saw?
Wesley Bassane. Chase Smith played a little bit too.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. New King, it's funny how Notre Dame is talking about the game, saying that they play their worst game and only lost by 3, but in reality, the game wasn't that close. Miami got conservative in the second half.
I agree with every point made there. And Martin Dubé, I love this question he brought up because I noted this during the game from the field. I saw, people saw what happened on the broadcast, some scuffles, but there was more than just that when I just seeing up close and then watching the broadcast after throughout this week. You mentioned here, Gio, how did the refs ignore JoJo Trader being pulled by the face mask? Who assesses these refs? You're right 100%, Martin. Major hats off to Mario Cristobal and the culture that he's created at Miami. I know people used to get mad when Jacoby George would lose his cool or other players before in the past. These players were so disciplined and laser focused that they did not play into these things when Notre Dame would try to mess with them. You would think that Catholics versus convicts was in reverse, that Notre Dame was the more badly behaved team on the field in terms of behavior. Again, I'm just saying what I saw, and you can see it on the broadcast too.
Now, these kids are very disciplined. The only you didn't get a lot of showing off, or you saw Bain at the end of the game with this. Some people, okay, the game's kind of going on at that time, and he's doing that. Some people I know commented on that. But yeah, these are kids. They're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. But I thought discipline as can be. That's a great point because the Canes have never been really disciplined.
The Jet 305 shares here. If the refs didn't start calling a bunch of BS, that's a 21-point win for Miami. Miami absolutely had the chance to run away with that game. It slipped away, and then you had some miscues in terms of passing over coverage responsibilities late in the game with Jacoby Thomas and whatnot. So just stuff they got to clean up. Nothing that can't be fixed. Nothing entirely too alarming.
But is it better that actually we won that close game than blew them out? In some ways, we had to find it inside us to win that game. The defense to make the big stops at the end. You blow a team out, you really don't have that challenge.
Right here, it's happening right now.
All right, there we go.
So Jet 305 also mentions here, Bryce Fitzgerald will be elite. Still too early to say. I know they're really excited about him, though. He'll continue to play more. Best cornerback group in the ACC. How about Damari Brown? Yeah, Damari Brown, top-graded ACC cornerback in week one. One of the top 2 overall, and he was just phenomenal. He was Miami's best corner during the game, and shout out to Keontae Scott, too. Both of those guys played tremendous games. Chris Gons, go Canes, guys, and Canes Nation. Let's go. Let's keep this momentum all season long. Yes, go Canes. Blue said here, Cam Ward's parents was at the game. Really? I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I saw them. I saw some pictures of them. But that was cool that they went there.
Jet 305 took a photo with Edgerrin James, Andre Johnson, and Ed Reed after the game in the parking lot. Great people. Yes, they always give time to the fans. I've noticed that over the years.
That's fantastic.
Almighty Finn can't wait till FSU Miami game. Yep, October 4th, a month away. Charles Dawson, El Paso Texan Kane here. Thank you from the Lone Star State. Thank you. Jet 305 won't be the last top 10 team they beat this year. Yeah, could be possible. They may have another top 10 matchup this season. What is Artavius Jones' shortcomings? What will he need to do to make the rotation? It's just mostly he's had injuries since he's been here. He's healthy now. He'll have an opportunity this weekend. Juan Manuel, why don't they let Jordan Lyle go and run outside? I don't know. At the end of the day, that comes down to coaching and what they want to do schematically up front. Jet 305 says Virginia Tech is dog food. Our top 3 defensive tackles are great. Yeah, the top 3 defensive tackles are pretty damn good. And Jet 305 also said from Mondo's comment earlier, damn, Hard Rock's security is going soft. That's crazy.
Absolutely.
Son shared here. Gio, hearing that the recruits had a great time, they were all excited except Derek Cooper. Should Miami still go recruit him or go hard after Jay Lamar? Well, Miami's still talking with both of those guys. They are after the IMG running back as well, Lakai Tompkins, who they're still trying to figure if they like him for offense or defense. I've mentioned before on previous shows, whether it's been on here or with Amon Richards or Michael Yo or whichever shows I've been on, I've mentioned it in recent weeks. They had a 2027 running back that was on, that was there at Hard Rock for the game that's visited Miami before. Mm-hmm. He's from the state of Georgia, Braden Tyson. He's about 6'1", 6'2", 225, 230 pounds. Class of 2027, but strongly considering reclassifying to 2026. I've heard a lot of good feedback on him for a few months now. Miami really likes him. They love his character. They love his film. We'll see if anything continues moving along there, but they have options at running back. I know people get all riled up about Derek Cooper, but it is what it is. Miami will recruit him, but they're not going to lose sleep over it in the long term. If he wants to be here, he wants to be here. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Jet 305, the old Scooby-Doo maneuver. The O-line couldn't stop Mesidor or Bain. Juan Manuel Christian Wilkins says he would have loved to see Mando with a Miami shirt. Canes Cats Heat said, no, don't get it twisted. The Panthers are totally a separate thing. Remember, the Panthers play indoors. Ladies like indoors. That's true. Mm-hmm. Eric has a very good point there. It's that Panthers do play indoor inside the arena. The arena is actually, I think, like 10, 15 minutes from where I live, so it's pretty close by. Let's see. We're just about at the end here. Hurricanes didn't even sell out back in the day in 01 against bad teams. It's very true. I had people tell me about the Miami Temple games back then.
Exactly.
I think it's
the 80s either. We didn't sell out except for the big games.
Jet 305. NFL has been going downhill for quite a few years. Canes Cats Heat said, doesn't mean we can't get 30 to 40,000 for Bethune, though. Yeah, I think the turnout will be good.
We'll have 50,000 for Bethune, I think. A lot of people are selling their tickets. I'm kind of come up with a plan, Gio, that CanesWear can facilitate a ticket program. Hopefully we'll be allowed to do that, where people that can't go, that don't even sell their tickets, and then charitable, give out to kids' leagues, things like that would be awesome.
Yes. He also makes another good point here. He said Miami likes events. Miami versus Notre Dame is an event. Miami versus Florida is an event. He's 100% right in there. Miami's a big ticket town. If you have a big ticket that weekend, people will show up. Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
The Pups were going to ball out on Saturday. I guess that would be the backups. Totally agree.
Juan Manuel said here, Clemson OL versus DO. Miami, who do you favor? I like Miami's defensive line. I wasn't impressed with Clemson's offensive line that opening game, but still a long season.
Jeff makes a good comment. The refs knew once it was 21-7, they had to do something before the game got out of hand. But frankly, they were doing it right away. They did it on that first series when he threw it to JoJo and others. So they didn't wait for 21-7. They were making no calls on them all the time. They didn't have a penalty until we got our like 5th one or 6-1.
Yeah.
And they definitely had several opportunities to call them on them.
Golden Child, do you think we start to work the younger defensive tackles into the rotation? Yes, I believe you'll see that happen starting with this weekend and possibly the next game too. What's good, Canes family? Let's ball from Mike Jeezy on YouTube. Jet 305, state champs back-to-back on the way. I could
That would
see
be
that.
awesome.
Saturdays are for the 3 Fs, faith, family, and football. Gio, you're going to get your wish because they'll be undefeated, and we'll take them down in a few weeks about Florida State. Yeah, I think Florida State very well could be undefeated going into October 4th. Game day may be in Tallahassee that
I
weekend.
would love to see that.
Jet 305 says, dare I say possibly beat them twice with a possibility to play them in the ACC title game. That would be the dream and what the commissioners with the ACC envisioned years ago when the ACC was first formed, that you would have Miami and Florida State possibly twice every year. If that happened, it would be a really good look for the ACC.
That's why they were put on the two different ends of the conference as well, so they could face when the conference was like that. And
Blackwater from X shared here. Linebackers look like legit linebackers about damn time. Well, we mentioned earlier, Popo Aguirre, tremendous game from him. He really shined on Sunday. Jet 305, Mario did a great job having the team locked in, even with the cheap shots and the extra stuff they try to do to get Miami to get back at them. They just kept doing their job and handling business. Yeah, they just one-track mind, focused on the mission. It was very impressive to not see them play into that with how Notre Dame was trying to throw them off their game. Jet 305 also mentioned here, Mesidor and Wesley, the same, did the Fighting Leprechaun celebration after the last sack. Have you seen that, Brett?
I did not notice that.
I'm going to send it to you after this. Is hilarious. So, yes, he's correct. On the last play of the game, Akeem Mesidor put up his hands like this, like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
I did see that, actually. I did. And that was a little...
Wesley did the same as well. That was classic.
I was wondering, yes. I did catch that, but I got to see it again, so send it to me.
Blackwater said, OJ and Damari look like beasts. We got some dogs on defense. Yeah, the secondary is very good. They got 4 corners they trust. 5 Rings said, who knew Reuben Bain had a little Bo Jackson to him? Blue said here, Cam Ward's parents was guest of Carol Sofer. They were sitting in her section of seats. That's awesome. That I absolutely.
Carol was actually in the store on Friday or Saturday morning. I wasn't there for that one either, but Jeff helped her around the store. So
that's awesome. It is overall a great week for Miami, a great week for the store. Just exciting times around the program. And last comment of the night from 247-365. Miami Hurricanes and South Florida Sports. Georgia Tech is my dark horse. I think they will make it to the ACC championship. I got to hand it to Haynes King. He is one tough guy on the football field. I mean, you could beat that guy up and he still plays hard until the very last whistle. So I'll be honest. If I'm thinking with like a fan cap on, don't feel comfortable about that because Georgia Tech's kind of had Miami's number since
Haynes I agree.
Been the quarterback there, but would be nice for some revenge though.
We definitely need revenge because they beat us probably more than we beat them in the recent past. Especially they are undefeated a couple of years ago we didn't fall on the ball, but last year undefeated too. Both years, right? We were undefeated and they knocked us off. So that there was something at the end of that game. Did you see the game that Dion did not call the timeouts? He left the 2 timeouts on the board. If that was Mario, they would have been killing him. I'm sure they're killing Dion too.
They have. Yeah.
But just to leave the timeouts, that was just didn't understand that at all. And he said that we couldn't do the right things, and he said the right things at the end of the game. But coaches have got to know. I think they've got to have somebody on the sideline helping with time management. supposedly Mario got that right. Didn't we get somebody to help us with time management after that?
That's what's been said, yeah. But
So
at the end of the day, yeah.
I mean, it's sad that the kids can play 59 minutes and then time management. I mean, not that they would have won, but they would have had a lot better opportunity. When to fall on the ball. Do we have 3 timeouts? Someone in his ear all the time. Mario does need that. Besides, listen, if you're on the field, and it's hard to think of everything.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, but a great week. A fantastic week. Like you said, Gio, we were talking about the what ifs, the recruiting, the camp, and now we finally saw them in action. We saw the Canes do what the Canes do, the new physical form of football the Canes are playing. You wouldn't have thought that before Mario got here. We weren't physical with Golden. We weren't physical with Randy. We weren't physical with Mark Richt. The last time we were physical is 2001, 2, and 3 probably.
Yes, correct.
And it's been a long time. We've been concentrating and focusing on the what they used to call the skill positions.
Yeah, and Miami's now got the guys up front to,
and then that's so exciting. So it's going to be an exciting week. Gio, where can people find you? I know everywhere, but anywhere specifically right now?
Well, actually, before that, 2 interesting questions. So someone
Okay.
asked thoughts on USF versus UF. I think that game's going to be closer than what the spread is. I would take the under. I think UF's defense, while they are good, they struggle with quarterbacks that are mobile. So we'll see. I think Byron Brown's going to give UF some trouble. I do have UF winning that game. The other thing I'll mention, the other question here, Hassan asked here, Gio, you said on Michael Yo's show earlier this week that Miami has a great shot with Calvin Russell and Nick Lanier. And then Nick Lanier was also crystal ball to Miami this week and might reclassify. If that's true, how it will be great for the receiver hall. Yes, Miami moved the needle with those 2 guys over the weekend. They'll continue chipping away at Calvin Russell. And a few other notes that I'll mention overall. They made a really good impression on Jacob Curry, the linebacker from Nice. Right here in the state of Florida. I think it's Ponte Vedra Beach here in the state. Another guy that I'll mention as well, it's far away, Neiman Lawrence, the 5-star quarterback in the class of 2028. I've heard a lot of discussion that he could be reclassifying to 2027. I hear a lot of Miami buzz, and especially even more coming out of this game. And one other guy I'll mention, Amir Sears, the number 1 cornerback in the class of 2028, 5-star guy. Miami's way out in front right now.
Wow.
Way out in front. So just
this is
a
amazing.
few little nuggets there.
What about Minka's brother? Anything new on him?
So he was able to watch the game. Miami's still working on that right now. Nothing imminent there yet, but it's something to keep an eye on as we get closer to December. The distance factor and how well Miami's playing is absolutely going to come into play.
And did his brother just sign? I think he signed a deal. I think
he signed his new deal with the Dolphins. So that helps.
I'd love to play in the same area.
Yes, the family would too. Actually, they would love for that to actually happen.
It's a lot easier. You got Saturdays and Sundays when it's at home. So no, that's great stuff. Jet 305, thank you. Go.
Everyone can find me on X at Gio Milian, or you can find me on YouTube. Who Wants Smoke with Amon Richards every week. We will be live again very, very soon. I was on with Michael Yo this week on Comics on Canes. You can find me on here on the CanesWear Podcast. Make sure to shop at CanesWear, this place where all Miami fans shop at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. They have gear for every sports team that you can imagine in South Florida.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gio. And CanesWear.com, you can always shop on. We also just released our mobile app. You can go to on either. There's some glitches, but you can still try it out at either on the Android store or the App Store. You can download the CanesWear.com app. We're going to put blogs in there soon. I haven't even told Gio that yet. He's going to be writing blogs soon. And we're going to do other scores and other cool things on that app that we don't do on a website. So we're pumped about that. Thank you for everyone joining the show. Thank you, Jeff, for the compliments, Juan Manuel. Five ranks, five ranks. We always appreciate you guys. We've got a great following, and we really do appreciate it. We'll do it 2 days a week if we can. And you can see me anywhere. CanesWear on X or in the store. And if you need anything, always reach out, voicemail, email, on any of the social media. So excited for week 2. You got a prediction for the game, Gio?
I'll go. Would love for Miami to score 70, but I think they're going to pull the Dogs back early on. So I'm going to go. I'll go 63-3. I think Miami ends up giving a field goal somehow late in the game, just backups in the game, young guys, maybe a mistake or two happens, and Bethune, because Bethune-Cookman does still have some athletes. You know, they don't play any type of football. So I'll go 63-3.
Awesome. I was going to pick 63-7, that they would get a touchdown, some break, and then people are going to get nervous. What the heck is going on? We gave up a touchdown to Bethune-Cookman. So I think it's a game that hopefully will rest in our starters at halftime, and just for USF. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you to Bobby and the FTSN Network. Please like and subscribe the FTSN Network. Lots of great shows on there. He does a great job putting us on. If there's anything special you want to see or hear, let us know, and we'll be happy to try to accommodate. Until then, it's all about the U. Go Canes.
Go Canes.